Hey, welcome to Two Nights of Horror by Dudes and Dice, and this is Vampire the Masquerade One Shot, New York by Night. Oh, jumping right into it. Welcome, kindred, to the city of New York, known as the city that never sleeps. In the day the humans go about their business, they awaken at sunrise, head to work, complain about the nuances of their lives. They go home to their families, or their empty beds, and sleep as the sun sets. But for you lot, your day begins when the livings end. New York is a delicately balanced political landscape that has achieved what few kindred cities have in the last century, a relative peace amongst the different factions. In the 90s, New York was a territory of the vicious and reckless Sabbat, until Prince Michaela was decapitated and the Nosferatu Calebros was named Prince. Over time, he had wiped the Sabbat presence out of New York from the city and eventually stepped down, and the throne was handed to the current prince, Helene Panard. Because of the history, New York is a city of domains and territories split amongst various groups. The Ventru hold Wall Street and the island of Manhattan, with their base being located at Venture Towers in Wall Street. The Nosferatu also have their hideout beneath the islands of Manhattan. The location acts as the central hub for ShrekNet all over the world, the internal computer network created and maintained by the Nos. The Tremere have held the Chantry of Five Boroughs since the time of the Sabbat until the present day. The main chantry is found in Barnard College in Manhattan, and acts as a central hub for the smaller chantries across all of New York City. The Giovanni have been limited to a number of 6. They cannot have more than 6 of their clan present in New York at any time, and they maintain their operations all over the city. The followers of Set have several temples all over the city, the main one being in Harlem, and the Ravnos operate as a small gang just outside of Queens. And the Anarchs, the ever-liberal Anarchs, they have been granted territory in Staten Island to call their own. Because of this arrangement, they have agreed to play ball with the Camarilla. Valentine, as the prince's right hand and the sheriff, you have been a part of the New York princedom for the last 5 years since you have defected from the Sabbat. The first 2 years of your arrival here, you were not trusted. As far as anyone was concerned, you, of all people, were the enemy. Over time, you were granted certain rights, and you've proven to be useful. You've escaped the Sabbat thinking that Gehenna was on its way and the safe bet was to side with the Camarilla. In those 5 years, you have been granted a responsibility to take care of a childer with no sire, in the form of Sam Wake. For the first few years that you were watching over him, it felt more like a burden and a punishment for being what you are. But over time, Sam had proven to be quite useful in certain areas. The two of you have been summoned to Venture Tower in the auditorium in the 20th floor, where normally in the day for the mortals, press conferences, investment sessions and classes are held and taught. But at night, this is where the Camarilla hold their gatherings for important business. You have been called. Upon entering the auditorium with Sam, to your left and right, filling the auditorium, are the various factions all over New York. The Tremere, who own the chantries, who are allies of the Camarilla but not directly members. The Anarchs of Staten Island have arrived, or at least their barons and immediate coterie. You find even the Giovanni and the Ravnos have arrived, and the followers of Set in the back, as is expected when the prince calls. Downwards to the stage of the auditorium, the first person you see is the prince herself, Helene Panard, sitting on a throne dedicated to her. in a long silk black dress as she normally dresses, with her hair tied to a large bun on the back and a small fringe to the side, with her gold necklace that carries the symbol of the Ventru on the end. She awaits for your arrival to stay by her side as her right hand. On her left is a man you rarely see, with his hood and only identifiable by the white, featureless mask that he wears over his face. You find Damon, the Prince's Scourge, a man who is only seen when there is someone that needs to be killed. Along with him, a few goons and low-ranking members of the Camarilla, holding in place two people. One of them you don't recognize, a man with long, messy blonde hair up to his neck in a leather jacket with a hood on it. The other one, a more dignified man, with a broken down suit that looks like it was from last night, a tie, and a polo shirt. That man you do recognize. You recognize him not by name but by appearance, because he has been on TV quite a number of times, actually. That is the mayor of New York's personal assistant. He's brought here in front of all these kindred, and you can only assume bad things are about to happen. You walk your way up the stage, where you and Sam take your rightful place on the right side of the prince. She stands in all her elegance and grace, goes down from her throne and explains to everyone, "Welcome all. I have brought you here today because there has been a sin most grievous that has been committed. This one," pointing to the man with the long, kind of messy blonde hair, "is one of yours, oui?" And she looks at the section of the auditorium where the Anarchs are staying. One of them nods. "This one has turned someone without permission, and not even in your own territory. This man has turned someone of great import to the mortals. In my territory, along Wall Street." You can see that the blonde guy is muffled and beaten half to death. She grabs his hair, pulls it back. "What have you to say for yourself, trash?" She throws him down as she takes the bindings off his mouth at least. The man looks at everyone and just said, "I'm done bowing to the fucking cams, alright? I broke your rules. So fucking and he gets gagged again by some goons. "There is much disrespect here. Now, as per our agreement," still not breaking eye contact with the Anarchs, he has broken a rule in my domain, therefore the punishment is for me to decide." The Anarchs nod. "Scourge!" And a large axe is handed to you. "If you will." And you can hear him go, "Very well, let us hear what he has to say." "You're not gonna hold your rule forever, you know that, right?" And she just signals you. "This is bulk!" His head comes clean off his shoulders as the body begins to rot. She points to the goons on the side. "Get this body out of my sight. He was barely old enough to even live in dust." Now, on to the Chalder. And this is where she turns her attention to Jacob. While looking at Jacob, she does not break, or she still addresses the people in the crowd. "Jacob Crowley, Mayor's assistant, the mayor's help and protege, and a young and aspiring politician, one that I'm sure all of you must have seen in the television at least once in your lives. This man has been turned without my permission and with all the publicity surrounding his name. So I'm sure you all must have some form of opinion as to what needs to be done of him. The room kind of falls silent, and then there's this whisper of chatter across. The prince scans the room. I am well within my right to execute this child for not even having a sire to instruct him on the ways of our kind. But because there has been several doubts over the last few months about my dedication to this piece, I am willing to listen, see what all of you might have to say. One woman with black hair that has a streak of blue on her fringe stands up in a leather jacket. The three of you recognize her as the Baron of Staten Island and the general leadership figure of the Anarchs. There are other barons, but she is considered to be the top. Her name is known only as Juliana. She stands, crosses her arms. I think you should let him live. You want to pretend to be so benevolent, oh prince. Why not give Ramon a chance? Take her under your wing. Take him under your wing and whatnot. No? And you can see slowly the other groups are waiting to see how the prince responds. I see. Well, I am feeling rather merciful, given the current circumstances. Very well. She looks at you, Valentine. You have turned one stray into a valuable asset. Perhaps you can help me do the same with this one. She turns around.
I shall take care of it, my prince.
Now, on to our business. As you are all aware, Nosferatu, of all affiliations, Camarilla, Anarch, and wherever else, have been dying lately in their own boroughs and homes and havens. I am going to send my finest to investigate this, and the investigation may or may not lead into your own personal territories. Consider this a formal notice that I will be sending some of my people through your groups, and I expect they will be treated with the utmost respect, as they will also be respecting the laws that we have all agreed on so many years ago. So, if there are no questions, all who are not part of the Camarilla, you may leave. Au revoir. You can see all the other people start leaving except for you guys and your goons. She goes in front of all of you with Jacob. You literally just woke up today. You have no idea what she's talking about, who they are. You just know that they kidnapped you. But you are still gagged. She looks at the rest of you. Valentine, I want you to be working with Damon and Sam, and take the fledgling with you. We need to find out what is going on with these Nosferatu. Why are they disappearing? Why they are dying in droves? Whether in their haven or out of it, somewhere in the sewers, either their bodies are found consumed of all blood. There is someone diablerizing in my princedom, and I do not like it. Expect them to be dealt swiftly. Bring them back alive if we can make a show. Dead is fine as well, as long as the job is done. And while you're down there investigating, might as well bring the fledgling with you. Teach him the ways.
Understood, my prince.
Go on. business to attend to. You should have permission from all the others to be able to visit their locales. Be very careful of whatever is down there. There is something brass enough to attack the Camarilla, the Giovanni, the Anarchs, and everyone. The first lead that you will follow will be in Barnard College, in the main chantry of the 5 boroughs. Talk to the head. I'm sure he will be more than willing to cooperate. They were the latest to find the Nosferatu beneath the sewers of the college. And for your own sakes, perhaps bring with you a set of clothes and boots. You may have to be going down less than savory territory.
Yes, my friend.
Very well. Arm yourselves how you wish. Go on with your business.
We shall.
And see to it that the fledgling gets something to eat. He seems quick, especially after we drove a stake to his heart.
Yes, my friend.
She walks away, gives all of you the room. There's the 4 of you. And Jacob, you are still tied up on the floor, feeling rather hungry for some reason. Your clothes stained in blood.
Up to the fledgling.
Do I have to feed now? I have to eat? Can you... Do you accompany me to eat, right? I ask the other people around me.
Okay.
I walk up to the fledgling and ask, do you even know what you are, what you've become in the night? You guys...
I don't think he knows.
I don't think
And I
he
still
knows.
think he's gagged.
Removing
No.
the gag.
I remove the gag.
And removing anything that is being tied.
Okay.
That hasn't tied.
You remove his restraints, and Jacob is kind of weakly moving upwards, taking his form. Very, very hungry for some reason, and you don't even know why, Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, what triggers your hunger? Would you know?
Jacob? I think he hung. In any case,
We can do this on the way.
The scene is a fever nightmare that could make a psychiatrist lose his faith in humanity or climax in his pants from the euphoria. Either way, the outcome could have been much worse.
Typical, Sam. Very typical.
where would you like to go now? You have a job to do.
I suppose we can get some weapons and clothes as the prince suggested.
Okay. You are in...
Sam, you're taking clothes this time. You're not walking around with grime on your feet.
Grime? The city is filled with grime. No one is left clean by the end of the night.
Yes, but I would rather not smell like sewers inside the car.
Sounds fun. So I take your instructions and do them.
You are already in the auditorium of Venture Tower, which means there are several floors here dedicated to kindred under the Camarilla. So you can go inside. You are advised to take light weaponry that is not destructive because you do not want to make a noise. And you're also advised to take some clothes that are fit for traveling the sewers. So, what would you like to take?
My Beretta stirs in my pocket.
Okay.
And it says to me, it's not leaving me alone, not in the sewers.
The rest of you?
I would like to take my silver brass knuckles.
Alright. You're muted.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be taking the same axe that I used earlier.
Alright.
And a combat knife.
Okay. Combat knife and axe. It's fine. So, getting ready, preparing your weapons for the night to come. You are still in Wall Street in Manhattan. Barnard College is not that far away. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour depending on how bad traffic gets. You do have a driver, a car, ready to bring you where you need to go. Just another ghoul for the prince. On that car, you are kind of traveling around, and here are the details of what you already know of what's happening. Over the last few weeks, Nosferatu have been dropping in the sewers. At first it was thought that perhaps one of the groups in New York has broken the truce. But then, over time, you realize that all the groups who carry any Nos with them have started dropping as well. Some other groups who have decided to investigate could not find any signs that anyone was involved or any kindred amongst each of the groups were involved. So the assumption is that there is a third party here, and the Camarilla has given the promise of investigating this. The last known attack was in Barnard College, not in the chantry of the Tremere, but within that territory, in the sewers underneath the college itself. That's where you're heading off to for the night. The Nosferatu attacks at first seemed like minor things, perhaps internal squabbles. The Nosferatu are not necessarily completely allied with any one group. There are Nos that belong to the Camarilla, but they don't stay within the sewers. And there are Nos that belong to the Anarchs, but they're only in Staten Island. To appease the group of the Nos, the Camarilla has agreed to investigate what is happening. So, along the car, under the assumption that you have taught Jacob the basics of what he is, so that we don't have to go into the excessive politics of it all, you find out that Jacob's preference for feeding, after giving him a few samples across the street and a few ghouls, one, he's a Ventru. Two, he can only feed from people who allow him to. But even the ghouls that allow him to feed, he cannot seem to stomach, for he requires people affiliated with his political affiliation. He needs a Republican.
That's a very weird kink.
It is.
Ventrose. A Republican, huh? Does he need to know if they're willing?
They need to both be willing, and they need to be they need to be both willing and Republican.
This can be very easily
just a
taken
quick
care
question.
of by removing their memory.
Just a
Yes.
quick question. Do we take sides when it comes to political party?
No, you have no concern at all about.
If there are
In fact-
vampires that are Republicans or something.
In fact,
Yeah.
for the elders of Vampire Society, For the elders of Vampire Society, you don't even know what a Republican is. You don't know about the political parties. You don't necessarily care. But the restrictions are both Republican and consensual. So not only does Jacob require someone who is willing to feed him blood, they have to be of his political affiliation, which means ghouls don't necessarily have a political affiliation.
That is a very troublesome trait you picked up.
Well, we do they know it? Do they know that I only feed out political parties?
Yes.
Of my own political party.
This is out of trial and error of trying to feed you some ghouls.
We can
Go on.
can visit my friend, I guess. Maybe he can help us.
Friend of
Maybe
yours.
get some information as we go along as well. About the task at hand. Look, I'm just really hungry. Just want to eat. Just want to feed.
Yeah. I do wish to know. Do you happen to know someone personally who would satisfy these
Sure.
cravings of yours? Your friend, does it pass the
Yeah.
requirements?
I have a lot of political mates. I guess so. I can consider them friends, I guess.
Well, we can't exactly make a habit out of
You
it.
can visit them if you want.
Do you have
The
any
thing
plans?
is, as a kindred, you cannot exactly affiliate yourselves with your
Is there
mortal
someone near possible?
relationships
Yeah.
anymore. You're dead, and it'll stay that way. Is it known to the public that you've perished recently?
It is not. It's
I
known
know,
it's known that he's missing. The police would be currently looking for him.
It doesn't matter. I mean, political gain is political gain. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
so-
even understand these political, political.
Yeah, I don't even know what they look like. But if you say, I mean, do you have any plan to convince them?
I can do that, I guess. I practically am a high-ranking official in our party. So
Yes, which makes you very problematic because everyone knows you when they're not supposed to.
well, we can try at the very least. It doesn't harm us.
Let's settle for someone who doesn't know you. The last thing we would want is for everyone to find out that you're still alive. Especially if you want the world to know
So a
or
voter?
think that you're dead. Perhaps.
Or some clerk,
So maybe a supporter.
or some clerks, desk pushers
Yeah.
that you have in your company that doesn't know you personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
quite-
think so. I mean, you know me. Yes, some like constituents may do.
The driver looks at you,
Sweetheart.
Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am,
Oh no.
Yes.
the prince had passive orders to, settle his affairs, mortal-wise. Are we to put that on hold?
Well, it would be quite troubling if he shows up in public alive and then he dies the next day. What do you guys think?
Vampires are already damned, but some are doubly so.
And you, Damon, how should we go about this?
I don't even have any idea how to cover up if how to tell people if it's dead. I think
Well, we can take. We can have the ghouls take care of it. If it's about him dying, we can just set up something elaborate.
Okay, so we have two problems at the moment.
I'll be back.
His hunger and his stage death because he's so popular.
I suppose. Are these Republicans of yours, are they prominent in the population? Is it common amongst kind?
In New York, absolutely.
Republicans?
Yes.
I'm not a Republican actually. I'm a Democrat.
With Republican friends?
Opposite party.
Oh.
Complicated little tart, aren't you?
Opposite party. I'm a Democrat. Well, I guess it doesn't hurt to try to, you know.
Yeah, so what if someone knew you? Or, I mean, what are the chances that if you bite someone
Plastic
friend of yours and he's a Republican here in New York?
Okay, can I locate? Can I?
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I think you're lagging too much and your audio is really delayed. But just to push this along.
Yeah.
The rest of you.
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Yeah. So just to push this along, the rest of you, for the sake of brevity, let's say gather around a political rally. There's no shortage of that in New York. Find a random Democrat to feed from, and basically force feed the guy. So, upon giving him whatever food he needs, you, Jacob, can you mute? Okay. So, upon giving him what he needs and eventually gathering around to head over to Barnard College, upon your arrival there, you find the college is closed for the night. People are going home. The dormitories are just about closed, and you are able to maneuver yourselves without much notice. As you move forward, you head over to the main sort of chantry or building where the Tremere have made their base of operations, the Arts Center of Barnard College. There you are to meet with Andrew Farnell. He's the head of the Tremere group of New York. Anything that you want to do beforehand? Nothing?
Okay.
Yeah.
While we're walking, I'll just use the passage.
You do have a hood and a mask. No one's really paying attention to you from there.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Within this college.
Yes.
Is there someone who I can sense can be a part of the Democratic Party? Affiliated with it,
sorry,
or
it's
believes
been
in our system?
Sorry. To expedite the process, I already said that you kind of fed off of someone from a political rally. In any case, within the confines of Barnard College and the Arts Center, as you make your way inside, there are Tremere who are waiting on the outside of the gate, expecting you. as they nod at the sheriff and opening the door for you. You enter and one of them leads you to the basement, where there are a group of Tremere with their books kind of just waiting and studying there. You are presented in front of Andrew, who is in his, as usual, sort of immaculate looking suit and a long black trench coat. He closes the book, hands it to someone, moves forward. Welcome. So I was expecting a visit. The prince works quickly.
Of course. Diablerizing Nosferatus isn't exactly something that's to be smiled upon.
Nor is it common. Please follow me.
Indeed.
He brings you to the neighboring medical center via some underground passages that they have made for themselves. They have used the autopsy table. There you find a Nosferatu who is a little young. He hasn't aged enough to turn his body into ash. He is just laying there. But he is sort of probably moved the timeline maybe 10 or 15 years. Relatively young for a kindred. Now, as Andrew shows you this body, grotesque as it is, even by Nosferatu standards, he shows you very specifically the different parts of the body and says, well, his body was drained of blood, but I see no puncture wounds, no marks. I don't even see any signs of broken bones or a struggle. It's almost simply as if he had just lost his blood and dropped. Odd.
Is it not possible that he was drained on his sleep and the wound was licked close?
Perhaps, but if someone were to drain you while you were asleep, well, one, you might wake up, and two, that kindred would have to be rather powerful. Wouldn't you think?
True. That is very true. So did you find anything relevant about this body? Other than that?
Let's see here. No broken bones, no sign of a struggle. There wasn't anything to indicate a regular kindred attack, even one who would commit diablerie. He simply dropped.
Is it possible that he's poisoned?
He
Possible
looks,
he's poisoned?
he looks at
Even in
Jacob.
the land of bloodsuckers, a bloodless body is very peculiar. Don't you spooks have magic that can do this?
We do, but that would normally leave a mark. And it would not nearly be as peaceful. He looks at Jacob and then just... the fledgling that was spared. Poison. That's not necessarily something that still affects us.
No. Can you tell us about where the body was found?
For the shot?
Yes, it was beneath the sewers. I can give you a map, and he shows you the map of the college, and there's a sewer entrance in the back alley of one of the buildings. He encircles it. It was in the sewers. When you go down, you face north, keep walking, and then turn left. The body was right at the corner. Oddly enough, there are some blood marks. Handprints on the sewer walls. It seems he had survived a little bit and was somehow still being drained. Ordinarily, Tremere are able to do that, but it leaves a certain mark, and we do not see that mark, nor has anyone else.
Where's the mark leading to?
No, you misunderstand. When a Tremere drains the body of a kindred, we have certain things that we do to that body. They get contorted, their bones break, their blood vessels explode, and various other nasty things that are not visible on this patient. This one has simply drained and then died from the lack of vitae.
How about the hand
How
marks?
does the body look? How does the face look like? Does it look scared?
Dead.
Shocked or
Like
something?
it died. Like how you'd imagine a face would look like if he died sleeping.
Oh.
May I see his palms?
Of course, it shows you. Nothing odd other than it looks like his nails were kind of taken out or broken. It resembles how if you try to grasp something solid too hard, your nails start to scratch off. And then it was bleeding, but that's about the most sign of struggle you find on his body.
Curious.
Seems he was grasping to something for life.
And yet he didn't resist other than that.
Well,
Sam,
perhaps
do
he
you see
did.
anything unusual about it?
Looking
Perhaps
at a
your insight
lifeless
might help?
cause is unnerving enough. I'll take a look.
Okay.
Should I? Okay, for now, I'll just try to like investigate and look into
Sure.
his body. Well, she already did that, so
Just a palm.
I'll. Oh, she just looked at the palm. Okay, I'll try to examine the rest of this body.
Sure. Intelligence investigation, please.
Okay, where do I? Where do I?
Sorry. The code on Discord is _, like _, roll, space, the total number of regular dice, N, and then the total number of hunger dice, and then H. So, for example, roll 4N1H for your 5 dice.
Oh, yeah, it works.
Double.
_,
Okay.
space roll, and then space the number of regular dice, then N, then the number of hunger dice, then H. So for you, it's roll 4N 1H. 4 normal dice and 1 hunger.
Okay.
Because by default, you're all at hunger 1 at the moment.
I think it's supposed to be like slash or something.
No, it's 2 hyphens.
So,
Yeah. No, I think it's.
I think they changed it.
it's a
Okay, it's
slash.
slash. Okay.
Okay. Well, that didn't work out.
Can I roll as well?
You can.
Can I roll as well, if ever?
Yeah, you can. Sam, what did you get? I can't see the chat.
I think I only got 1 success.
You're not using any of your abilities, so
I got
there's not much to see for you, Sam.
3 for some odd reason.
3.
Okay.
So Jacob just kind of takes a look at the body, and for a minute, you're a little worried he might do something to it, not knowing what he's kind of doing. Pushing past the grotesque figure that stands in front of him, kind of just looking through. There is no sign of physical violence other than those nails. There's no sign of strangulation, forcibly being drained of blood. The inside, there's no sign of broken bones or anything violent that's happened to him. He was simply drained. Somehow. Everything that the Tremere has already told you.
So that's interesting to know.
Well, since these things are already
Looking
like
at my abilities.
yeah, I'm also well, okay, well, it doesn't cost me anything to use this. So sense the unseen. Gonna turn on sense the unseen.
Make a roll of wits and aspects.
Wits aspects. My wits is cool. That's.
Remember the total number of normal and hunger is added, so just add those. So if you have 5 dice, that's 4 normal.
For that one, I have
Do you have Sense the Unseen?
Wow, 7. Yeah, I have aspects as well.
Yeah, do you have Sense the Unseen specifically?
Sense the unseen or heightened
Do I have
sense?
to choose? Kasi level 1, I have...
You have to choose one or the other.
Oh, so I have to choose one.
Anyway, Sam.
I think I have heightened senses. Never mind.
Sam, Sense the Unseen, correct?
4 successes.
4. You look at the body and you find traces of what you would find from a person who's been diablerized, the lack of a spirit or a soul or whatever life force you kindred hold on to. It's been completely drained out of him, so you can confirm that this is diablerie. But you also find this sort of ethereal mark of something more powerful than you're used to. You find something beyond what any other kindred would normally see given what you are. There is a malignant force that has befallen this corpse, this former Nosferatu, a powerful entity, something dangerous and old.
Something wicked came for this Nos. Diablo is already a distasteful act. This is something utterly different from what we are used to.
What do you see?
You see for a minute, Sam, from your own vision, because you're a Malkavian, the tendrils that normally represent the diablerie of a corpse start to maneuver and shape themselves into this writhing mass. Like there's a central kind of figure, and then there's multiple tendrils that are extending outwards from that figure. Those tendrils kind of go up, and then the ends of the tendrils become trees and plants and little fauna, squirrels and wolves and other animals, and it seems like from this central mass there is life being born.
A dark shadow looms over whatever it is that killed this Nos. Something that forms into a trees. Something that the darkest side of nature.
And yet somehow this undead force bears life. Something unheard of.
And I tell all of that to them.
Yeah.
In a very Malkavian style, noir style monologue.
Sam monologues for about 2 minutes explaining about the darkness and how the dead should not be able to breathe life, and yet this one does.
Is this natural? I asked the others, is this natural?
The way
It
he
is not.
talks?
Oh.
Yeah.
It is natural for his kind.
Yeah. Andrea, I would like to ask a...
Jacob.
Oh, no, I mean
Andrew. Yeah.
Andrea, I would like to talk. Are the other deaths like this?
We have only witnessed 2 of them brought into our office, but yes, they are similar, though I do not know of what this Malkavian of yours speaks. I have only seen the traces of diablerie. What he sees, well, I suppose that is both the gift and the curse of his clan.
Yeah. I would like to ask also what is the location of the other one that you have
the other one was in Staten Island. It was only brought here for examining purposes. The Anarchs had originally brought him. The Anarchs had originally brought him to our chantry in Staten Island, and then it was transferred here for more expertise with the examining. Same conditions.
Okay.
It's worth noting that there are reports of much older Nosferatu who have no bodies to leave behind, but only turn to ash. So it seems whatever is feeding does not necessarily choose the power level of his victims.
Only the clan.
Yeah. And there seems no pattern with the location also.
Well, there is one denominator of the location. It is in the sewers. Never on the surface. There doesn't seem to be a direct hatred towards the clan. There have been some reports of fallen scouts that were not Nosferatu, that were found dead and deablarized in the same manner in the sewers. So I believe it's more of a locational thing than it is a clan thing.
But when you say scouts, are they the ones also investigating?
They're the ones the Anarchs have sent to look for their missing friends. They are the ones we have sent to investigate the anomalies. For one reason or another, they are not always investigating the deaths. They may be very well investigating whatever they need to do in the sewers.
Okay.
But not all of them were involved in investigating the death of these Nosferatu.
So it's just the sewers. At the very least, you gotta hand it to them. They're not breaking the masquerade.
Yes, that is true. Still quite odd. I do not understand it myself.
Very much so. But
would
we'll
I know
find
if
out.
there's would I know if there's something special about Nosferatu's life force type of thing? As a Nos too.
Not really. I mean, the Nosferatu have certain skills that are not available to other clans other than the Malkavians. So
It's not skills. Yeah, so yeah, it's not skills. It's more I'm just trying to figure out.
I suppose the place is worth checking. Unfortunately, it is in the sewers, so
Hey, you did prepare going to the sewers, and we know we're going to the sewers.
yes, it doesn't make it any less pleasant. But we have to do it.
And the Prince's Sheriff and the Scourge on the same mission. This must be getting serious.
It is important for the prince. Fast response to this death.
Of course. Please, if you are all ready, allow me to show you to the entrance.
Another night.
Of course.
Another night, another sewer. But this time, what Lovecraftian horrors are we expected to see down there?
That I can understand.
Eldritch horrors.
Yes.
Hey, Jacob, are you good about going to the sewers?
You don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, it's either go with us or no.
Valentine, what do you need to do?
It's over with. Just going to change, wear my full regala.
Okay. So you've all been given basically boots and things for sewer travel, let's call it, as disgusting as it is. Andrew leads you down the college, and eventually behind the medical building there's a sewer entrance. As he brings you down there, he goes with you up to the point where he discovered the body, where you see traces of fingernails scraping the walls and the scratch marks and the dried blood that has been left on the side. The sewer here, as expected, is disgusting. It is abrasive to even your undead senses. And you just kind of instinctively not breathe. And Andrew just shows you this and says, well, there you are. Our sewage problem.
Can I activate Oblivion Sight?
Sure. Please make
I
a
would
roll.
like to investigate the place.
Go ahead. Make the roll, please. I think it's just
Investigation.
no. I think the Oblivion Sight is intelligence investigation is fine.
Okay. That would be 7. 4, 6, and 1. That's 5 successes.
Your eyes turn as black as the night shadow itself. As your vision, everything in front of you is a hue of dark gray, and you see various floating entities spirits and ghosts, but there's a part of you that feels this would not be what you're looking for, given that these ghosts would not have the capability to drain the kindred dry the way that one was. But there are some spirits looming beneath the streets of New York. Other than that, there is nothing to see.
No information about these grapes, nothing left behind.
No.
I can have like both heightened senses and sense the unseen on at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But you will need to make a resolve in aspects roll for heightened senses, because you have to drown out every other thing that you're hearing. Otherwise, you get a sensory overload.
What was that again?
Resolve and aspects.
Okay.
So
Resolve
5 dice for you, which means roll 4N and 1H.
Actually, I have. Yeah, I forgot to put a dot. I actually have 3 dots in in aspects. So that's
yeah. So 6. So 5N and 1H.
1H. Okay. Keep forgetting to put the roll. Okay. 7 successes. Oh no.
Is that a crit?
With 7 successes? Oh yeah, because
It's
I
a
have
crit.
critical.
Okay.
It's a critical.
This is for heightened senses, so you can hear the drips of sewer water kind of echoing, and pushing past that, you can hear the various sounds of cars and streets on the top, and pushing further past that, you don't hear much of anything else, and I'm assuming you don't want to smell much of anything else.
Yeah, I'm more concentrating on like my sight, like looking into the darkness, and yeah, I can I can definitely hear and smell all of that. I'm trying to really concentrate on what I can see,
Yeah,
and also sense unseen things that might be underneath here.
Yep. So you focus in on the hearing, and there's no one approaching. As you focus your sight very keenly to the front, you look around. You can see what Valentine sees. The various spirits that loom around the sewers of New York, but that is not a new sight to you. What is more interesting to you that you are able to see is a faint trace of this red energy that just keeps going forward somewhere. And it's the same sort of energy's trace that you were able to find on the body.
Mm-hmm. I point to it for the group. A red strand, like blood trail on the ceiling. This way, and then I
You follow this strand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Following through with what you have seen, you follow, and at some point, the strand kind of transcends the wall as it passes through, and it's no longer on a given path that you are able to travel. But as you keep kind of moving forward, you don't see how to get through that wall. So if you're in like the sewer hallway, kind of turns right at a wall, and kind of moving through for the first part, you can kind of follow it, but at some point you lose sight of it, given that you can't really go through walls. But it's somewhere here. I need you to make an intelligence and investigation roll to see if you can... no, sorry, there's more wits than intelligence. Wits and investigation.
Wits. Okay. Investigation. Ooh, okay. 7 H.
Oh no, it's 6 and 1H. The two numbers should total how many dots you have, because you're separating the hunger from the regular dice.
Yeah. Oh, wait. 1 wits 4. Yeah, I have 4 on wits, 3 on investigations. That's
yes, so
7.
That's 6 normal and 1 hunger. That totals to 7.
Oh.
Yeah. You keep them separate.
Okay. Yeah, I'm used to rolling from using the other pot kasi.
first is also here if you want to roll it.
Huh?
The first bot is also here.
First.
You can use it too.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay, that's 5 successes.
5.
Yeah.
At first, to the rest of you, at first it feels like Sam might be lost. Just kind of moving to random directions. At some point he circles, and just when it comes to the point where you want to ask him if he knows where he's going, he suddenly makes an actual decisive turn instead of a guess, and he moves with more purpose. You follow this trail down. The rest of you have been walking for possibly an hour now, not sure of where you're going, but Sam can see the trail clear as daylight. Moving through, you find an odd structure. You're still within the sewers, but you sort of descend a little bit, and it looks like one of those arches where the sewers kind of meet, where the tunnels cross. But instead of these metal bars that usually hold it apart, there is one large metallic door that looks decrepit and old and rusted over. And Sam, you're able to see that trail leads past that door. To the rest of you, this is just an odd sight because sewers aren't supposed to have this sort of weird gothic metal door stuck to it.
Can I investigate the door?
Sure. Intelligence investigation?
If it's something that I can easily open.
Sure.
Damon, have you seen this door before when you were in the sewers?
No.
Would I? Okay. So, let's roll. Sessions roll 2 and 1 each. Oh, it should be 3 success.
3.
Nice.
The door is very rusted, but it's also a very thick piece of metal. So even as old as it is without maintenance, it is very hard to kind of bend several inches of steel. So you don't think raw force is going to open the door. However, it has a hatch that resembles that old safe with the wheel that has pegs. You think that you might be able to break that, but it's going to require an exertion of your effort to do so.
It does not look like someone had been through it recently.
It looks like no one has bothered this for decades, if not centuries.
I'm just looking at Valentine. Do you want me to try to open this?
Yes, but I do need a moment to check if I can find anything significant on the door itself. Can I check the imprints, encryptions, anything that might resemble a language?
Make an intelligence investigation roll. You're looking for
Okay.
something else than him, so this would be different.
Yes. 5 successes.
5. They are covered in rust and faded and very sort of obscured, but you do find some form of writing, but it's not necessarily a language. It looks more ritual-like, reminiscent of some of the Sabbat that you have worked with in the past. It's a Mitzi specifically. They're fans of this type of writing, this sort of occult, symbolic writing that they use for their strange rituals.
Well, there's a possibility that we're dealing with a Chimitsi. This resembles their clan, as far as I can tell. Not entirely pleasant. But... Sam, do you see anything odd about this door? You're usually the one who can sense magic, or anything of this sort.
Sam, you just see that red streak going straight into that door.
Only the floating blood that goes through here.
Very well. Damon, would you please?
What would I roll?
Damon, this...
Well, there's a possibility that we're dealing with...
Sorry, Damon, this unfortunately
Only the floating.
requires your what's the word? This unfortunately requires your potence because this is far too thick of steel.
Prowess.
But yes, you will have to activate your prowess, and then you will make a strength and athletics roll.
So it's 1N, right? Oh, 1H. Do I roll 1H?
Yes, for a rouse check.
Oh, fail.
You rouse the beast inside as it demands to be fed.
Okay. So, what do I'll try that. I mean, what do I roll? Strength and
Athletics.
athletics. So that is 5. Roll 3 and 2 each. That is 2 success.
2 successes. Plus
Do
your...
I add the potence, which is 2? So
Yes.
that's 4.
You add that to the dice pool that you're rolling.
Oh, so I'll roll another
Yes.
2N. Which is 3. Can I use a willpower, or do you have to say it failed first before I use willpower?
No, you use a willpower before I tell you if it succeeds or fails.
I'll use a willpower.
3
To
normal
reroll
dice.
3 normal dice. Does it have to be 3?
Maximum
yeah,
3.
I have 3. Bali, tama. Yeah. It's 3 nga pala. Oh, so that is 5 successes.
Okay. Man, Damon is just a guy in a hood with a mask. He never takes it off. Just grabs on. And just destroys and basically takes off that metal hinge. And whatever semblance of a lock is broken. As you can drop the wheel and just put your hands in and grab it open. When you open it, you look inside.
Look first.
You look inside. It is pure darkness here. This is a part of the sewers that has been sealed off for a long time. There is no source of light in here.
Okay.
Without the ability to heighten your senses, you're not seeing anything here.
Yeah,
Oblivion
use Oblivion Sight.
That is fine. You don't have to roll. You and Jacob has heightened senses, and Sam. The 3 of you are able to take a lead here. However, Damon, you could have a flashlight if you want. If stealth is not an issue here, you may use a flashlight. In any case, you can move through. This resembles a very old, possibly Tsumitsu hideout. Probably this place was built or crafted around the time of the Tsumitsu, long before the Camarilla ever came in and kicked the Sabbat out of New York. While the door itself may be just decades old, the entire structure looks to be, if anything, as old as the city itself, or older. This place looks like it's ready to fall apart at any moment. There's dirt and wooden kind of support beams tying to the sides. You crawl through here and eventually you come to a crossroads that leads you to a choice between forward, left, and right. Sam, that blood trail that you've been following this entire time has split off in every direction.
Looks like this is the place. The blood trail is split off in many directions. How many directions?
You have 3 directions you're looking at. The front, going to the left and right, and the blood trail is kind of split off in all of them.
Okay. So the blood trail that I followed, and then several from that point?
Yeah, because you're following a blood trail. That blood trail splits off to north, east, and west.
So there's 3.
And those are only 3 those are the 3 directions that you can kind of go through amongst these tunnels. The tunnels, by the way, have descended. when you opened that door, you weren't descending forward. You weren't moving forward. You were descending downward, and then it just splits off. It is still dark. There is no source of light here, but there are what the others can see. These sort of hooks where you assume you could put a torch on.
There's no.
But there's no torch.
No torch, but you know what torch holder when you see it. You can have a flashlight, Damon. It's up to you if you want to open it. But so far, okay.
I'm not opening it at the moment.
Okay, but so far, the rest of the other three who can actually see here have not seen anything. Well, except for the ones with Sense the Unseen who can see the blood trail. That's about it. Oblivion Sight will give you visions of spirits moving around. Some of them angry, some of them docile. There may possibly be a wraith or two in here, you're not sure. But there has been many deaths that have happened in this place.
Can any of them be talked to?
The ones you see at the moment, they don't have necessarily a full kind of visage form. They're sort of like will-o-wisps just floating around, remnants of the dead. Restless dead.
Alright.
Looks like the Eldritch Gods have given us a choice to make in this graveyard. And then I point to all three passageways.
Yep.
Do you hear anything through those entrances?
There's nothing to be heard from anywhere other than the plop, plop of the dripping water, some dirt and earth, echoes of your own voices. But there's nothing here. It doesn't seem like there's anything that's been here for a while.
It's silent as death in this grave.
Sam, what are the voices inside your head suggesting we go?
You're free.
Choose.
There's a number of them saying,
Yeah.
left, no, right, forward. Your gun says forward.
Old Betty here wants to go this way.
But your jacket says left.
My mind is telling me no, but my gun.
Yeah, choose one, Sam. Let's try.
Yes, I don't believe it's a wise idea to split up, especially since we don't have any ways to communicate with each other. Let's choose one and go from there.
I trust my gun. My gun has been with me for a long time.
Reassuring, very reassuring.
Okay.
Forward it is.
You move forward past these tunnels. As you can make your venture forward, you follow the blood trail wherever it leads, and it just kind of descends even further down this darkness. You keep moving down, and it's not fully straight. It descends downwards. As you descend, there's a right turn. You feel like your foot has hit solid wood, and seems that you're standing on a wooden structure now. And as you kind of move forward, your steps echoing through this area.
I'll open my flashlight. What do I see?
You see a wooden floor that's been constructed, and sort of wooden beams, and the top of it that's sort of holding the dirt together. But it is old. This wood is rotting.
Does it look like a mine or an old
it
shaft?
looks like an old mine shaft, but there are no mines around New York City, and the Nosferatu have never been to this part. In fact, in all your years of being a Nosferatu, in all your contacts, and even through Shreknet, no one's ever mentioned that door. Given the Nosferatu have been here almost as long as the Tremere have, it's a little odd that the Nosferatu wouldn't notice that. But you move forward. Traveling through the wood, you eventually make it back into what looks like a cavern opening now. The cavern itself has a large stone blocking its opening. Just one large stone that was placed there. At the center of that stone is the symbol of Clan Tzimitzi, carved into the rock itself. What do you want to do?
Can I investigate the rock further?
That is investigation.
What's the history of the Simitsi again? At least in New
The
York.
Tzimitzi... Oh, the Sabbat used to run New York City for the longest time since its inception, until the Camarilla came in and kicked them out and wiped them away. But until then, the Sabbat, primarily the Tzimitzi section of the Sabbat, were the rulers of New York City since the city was built.
Okay.
How about the... go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm just about to ask, are they pushed out or are they exterminated?
They were pushed out or exterminated presence. Whoever stayed behind was supposedly killed off. But there is barely, if any, a Sabbat presence in New York anymore.
Okay.
That is 2 successes.
You look at the boulder and the writings and the inscription, you kind of go through. That's a Tzimitzi, as good of a ritual as you would know. Their vicissitude abilities, their abilities to morph themselves. This is the representation of that. They're ritualistic markings that they don't actually need to do, but they find it comforting as tradition dictates.
Can the rock be rolled away, or does it have to be broken into?
It can be. It will take a great amount of strength again.
Well, that's about all I see. Can any of you see anything else?
Yeah, I'm asking, where did the blood trail
Here.
end up?
Right here in front
Here?
of that rock. Yep.
Okay. Well, the eldritch scent seems to be pointing to this rock, so...
Through the rock, specifically.
Through the rock. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I'm just using the flashlight investigating the rock.
Yeah, you've already helped out. Valentine's already looked through it.
Okay.
It can be moved. It was meant to be moved with a great feat of strength.
Again.
You don't have to use... You don't need necessarily to use your prowess. But, you
Okay.
know, you can to help.
I'll use that.
Okay.
Let's do another rouse check.
Can I assist him instead?
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Let's add... You can add Valentine's strength to yours in the dice pool that you're going to make. So you add
Okay.
4 dots.
Oh, it's 4 dots.
So you add 4 more dice to whatever your total strength and athletics roll is.
Okay, so it's 4. It's 7 and 2 each. I'll roll for hunger check.
Oh, you're still using prowess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it succeeds.
You are not hungry.
So
Can I
it's
Yes.
12.
possibly hear anything
Seven.
moving around the place?
From the
Or presence of
inside,
anyone?
make a wits and awareness roll.
Nigel 8
Add-
successes.
Add your Auspex
Can I
dot.
activate my...
Yeah, add the dots you have in Auspex to heighten senses. So wits plus awareness plus your Auspex dots. 8 successes. Yeah, between you and Valentine, as you grab onto the rock, Valentine, you see that her body exhumes a bit of shadow that clench onto the rocks from her hands. As you drag it away and just push it to the side as it looks like it was meant to be.
Polly.
There is a path forward where the blood trail leads through. On the sides of the for those who are able to see in the dark, on the sides of this pathway, at least from the entrance, there is some writing on it. Jacob, what did you roll for wits and awareness? Jacob? Okay. So, what do the rest of you want to do?
I'm flashlighting the writings.
These are some really old writings, as in ancient writings, the kind that the
I cannot
Sabbat.
understand.
Valentine would know this. These are the kind of writings the Sabbat are fond of. They're not exactly what you call progressionalists.
Do I understand them?
It was a clan thing. You just know that they like this sort of thing. And this is the sort of thing they put in when they are doing their disgusting rituals and trying to achieve the
Very
perfection of their nature.
I don't suppose we can record these writings, have someone look through them. Perhaps a Tremere would know more about it.
It's a long hallway full of them. I suppose if someone has a phone, you can take a snap or two and stay
that's
away
what
from
I'm planning,
Valentine.
but we are primarily like, would I have a phone? Would I have a phone?
You would have a camera.
Okay.
Digital camera is fine. You can take as many pictures as you want going forward, but the blood trail that Sam sees does keep going straight down this dark tunnel.
Can I try to decipher whatever's written there, just in case?
Sorry, I was asking for your wits and awareness roll earlier.
Yeah, I rolled 1 or 6.
All of them? Okay. You don't really hear
5 dice
much.
and 1 success.
Yeah, you don't really hear
Okay.
anything through.
Can I try to decipher? Just try to decipher what's written, just to try it.
This is not a language that any human would speak. So
Okay.
this isn't necessarily something you can use an education for. You move forward, following the blood trail. Okay. Sam
Yes.
takes the lead as you keep going forward. Around here, for those of you with extra preternatural senses, you begin to hear echoing noises of whispers and chatter. People are speaking, it seems. There are noises that you can hear from all directions as you keep moving forward. For you, Valentine, you are able to see spirits. Angrier spirits. Spirits that have been wronged. Spirits that have not rested. Spirits of the damned, kindred and mortal alike, linger through these walls. Grave atrocities seem to have been committed where you are right now. As you move forward, Damon, you step on a few things, and you find what looks like a very old, dusty, decrepit leather journal. It's on the floor if you want to take it. Otherwise, we move forward. Yeah. Grab the journal and you open it. It is in an older version of the English language. Much older. This is a language rather Shakespearean in tongue. So probably just a few centuries after the Camarilla was born, along with the Sabbat and the Anarch factions. So, would any of you assume, let's assume here, would any of your characters know Shakespeare? Then,
Maybe the Ventru?
let's call that wits and insight. Yeah, wits and insight seems proper for something like this. All of you can roll. Any of you can roll. You can take turns passing it around, see who can actually understand whatever the hell this is.
Wits and insight. Wits and insight. Okay. So it's 2. Okay.
Mm.
2, 1, 2, and 2. Just 1.
David, you have 3 wits and 1 insight.
3 wits.
One
Yeah, that's
okay.
why it's 2, 2.
So,
2 and 2 each.
how many successes across the board, David?
I have 1.
Okay. Valentine.
I have 5.
May I
5.
give it a shot? Well,
Okay.
I'm not fond of Shakespeare. I did study a bit of an English.
Okay, so one has 5. You.
And 1 8. Oh, sorry.
You can use dice if you have it, by the way.
Yes, please. Thank you. That would be so much easier. That's 3 successes.
3. Okay. For you, Valentine, reading through this, the most you can decipher is this was written by some form of Tzimitzi, and these are notes. And between you and Sam's incredible understanding of Shakespeare, apparently, because one of his voices speaks in Old English now, apparently, you kind of read through the notes, and it just transitions and tells you the progression seems to be going well. Evolution is at hand. There is great power in understanding that death brings life. We will achieve perfection, one way or another. And then it just goes downhill from there. Downhill in terms of your understanding of what's written.
Hmm.
The last thing, sorry, that you read, the plan is moving forward. They do not suspect. Now, what's interesting here, Valentine, while Sam is able to read these scriptures and texts and everything that's going on, you realize something with your insight roll. This book and these papers and everything, they're not as old as the language being used. They're much newer. It is old leather, but this is within the last century or two. It's not that old. But nevertheless.
Is it
yes?
old enough to be done during the time the Camarilla are here?
Older than the Camarilla. But nevertheless, while the notebook itself is not that old, the language being written is very, very old.
Mm-hmm.
And one part of you thinks this was an attempt at translation from whatever language to an older English, or because parts of the notebooks do have regular English, so you think someone was trying but failing to translate what is written on it. Some pages of this notebook seem older than the others, and they're all bound by rope. So you feel like this isn't a singular journal that was bought as is. You feel like parts of it are older than the others, and some bits of translation might have been done throughout the centuries. Nevertheless, some of parts of these journals are extremely old. As old as the conception of the Camarilla itself. Perhaps older. That's it. So, you can continue forward as the echoes begin to get louder, and now even those of you without the preternatural senses are able to hear whispers of the dead. There are sounds of faint screams from the distance. The sounds of howling winds and anger, sounds of whips slashing and chains kind of dragging, sound of crackling fire echoing through these chambers. And once again you are brought in front of a choice between going straight or going right, both of them seemingly leading into an infinite darkness.
Which direction is the noise coming from? Or
All
the
of them.
crackling?
The entire place echoes with these noises.
And the blood trail, does it trail to both? Does it split off again?
Yes, in both these
All right.
directions.
Okay. More choices. More choices to die.
Yeah, follow your
Uh,
gun.
Lovely. Can we make sure that we're not going to get lost in a maze? Perhaps
So-
leave up. Hold on. I'm not entirely sure if this is appropriate, but I'm gonna take out my lipstick.
Okay.
It's gonna mark a small X on the wall.
In the sewers?
Cave.
I'm gonna throw it away.
Okay.
You're in a cavern, not the sewers anymore. You have long left the
Okay,
sewers.
at least a cavern.
I'm not gonna use it again.
You mark an X, sure. Okay. You mark an X on the
Such a
wall.
waste of a perfectly good lipstick. Put it back.
Well,
You can't look in the mirror anyway.
I know. That's the thing. She still uses makeup even though she can't see herself. It's sad. It's really sad, really.
well, she can just like hold her lips and then just
Sam, in your
follow it.
somewhere in the back of your mind, Sam, there's a voice that just tells you, how can someone with no reflection be so vain?
It is the irony of our kind, more so than others. And then I turn to the group. Well, I've already chosen our path to destruction. Maybe someone else can make that the second choice.
Is it okay if may I try investigating if there's anything significant about these pathways? Perhaps a marking, writing, or anything to be found?
No.
The writings have sort of ended somewhere here, before you got here. There's less writings on the walls, but both of them seem like constructed paths that were meant to be here. These don't look like man-made cavern networks. Sorry, these look like man-made cavern networks. They don't look like natural kind of cave formations.
So there's nothing significant. There's no significant difference between the two of them. Just that it leads to different directions.
Yep.
It's just two paths, right?
Yes.
I suggest right.
Alright. May I use sense the unseen, just in case.
I thought you had heightened senses.
Okay, sorry. Nice.
How many dots do you have on Auspex? Just one?
Just
Yeah.
If you only have one,
You know.
it's one or the other.
okay.
So it really depends on which one you took or which one you got.
Can I use heightened senses just to hear between both pathways? Which is like the one
Yeah,
I can think is the most safer one.
like I said earlier, those with the senses and those without, you can hear the echoing screams and sounds of chains and crackling fire from all directions. There isn't one direction that's isolated or different from the other.
Which okay. With the one guys.
I choose right.
Well, we have nothing else to lead us to. I
Right.
suppose we can go with right.
Right is never wrong. Let's go.
You move towards the right path, following another blood trail. The trail now, this thick ethereal mass that you can see, Sam, becomes more split off and tendril-like. Like a group of tendrils that have banded together into a single wire, similar to how you make a hempen rope or a bungee cord. But they're loose, ethereal, like a wave of blood just kind of flowing through the air. You follow it, and speaking of blood, you smell vitae. A lot of it. Powerful. Strong. from everywhere. There is the sweet, sweet aroma of blood in the air right now. Move forward. It just gets stronger. It pulls, it tugs on the beast inside your bodies. It makes you want to feed. But you push forward.
Am I the only one that smells this?
No, all of you do.
Okay.
It smells so delicious, but it's almost abrasive to the senses. As you move forward, each of you instinctively just release a guttural sniff. Smelling the blood, the beast begins to take over a bit of your reactive senses, although not enough to consume you completely. But you push through. You step on several what you think are stone tablets. You can pick them up. There are carvings on them of what resembles a similar language to what was written on the notebook, except this is decisively ancient. Several centuries old. This is not a language any of you can speak or translate. But you can make me an intelligence, wits and insight roll. All of you, because you can all see it.
It's an insight. Wait and insight. I'm so simple.
Oh, mother of God.
Please don't tell me that's what I think it is.
Yeah, it is. First time I rolled on my dice. You had to betray me like this. 6 successes, my secret. On 1 hunger!
Does anyone beat a 6?
No.
Okay. Everyone passes the tablet around, making sense of this, and you don't necessarily see it. You take a look at it, Valentine. You see the tablet. You see these strange markings of straight lines. Limited language writing. This was used at a time when they could not make curves because they had to carve it on stone. This, for a minute, escapes you, and then you realize this is Aramaic, the ancient language, the language of the original Canaanites. And with that, a trembling sensation takes over your body as you are aware that this is the language of the Sabbat, but also the language of the antediluvians that you have escaped by allying yourselves with the Camarilla. This is an ancient language from an ancient time, and your sort of combination of fear and anger and frustration smash the stone in your hands.
You okay there?
No. I think I just broke one of our leads. Can that be put back together?
The top and bottom half, probably. The sides, you kind of crushed into powder.
But there are
Damon,
more.
can you... Yeah.
There's a couple more tablets along the road now that you're kind of looking at the floor and realize there's a few other things that look like they were left here.
Well, if anything, I did find out that this is Aramaic. First language of the Canaanites and the Sabbat. Not exactly pleasant from someone who just escaped their grasp, but... Damon, do you think you can record these tablets with your device?
You have to
Was
take
it?
you have to take several steps away because that will not work in your presence.
That's why I am moving away.
While you move away, and because of that high roll, you notice as well what Sam saw, which are the different kind of tablets lined on the wall. You realize that these might not be abandoned or kind of left behind by someone who was running. These are placed here as notes. These were not put here by accident. These are there for a reason. So whatever they're saying might work or might help in understanding what is happening. Nevertheless, the blood trail calls forward. Does anyone have at all a dot in technology?
I have.
If I had a dot in technology, that would be fucking useless now, wouldn't it?
Damon, if you would please roll me an intelligence and technology roll. This is to see if you can maneuver Google Translate to translate some of these texts.
3 and 2 each.
You never know.
Oh,
never
3
know.
success.
That was a long shot. But it is 3 successes. You find a few things. You gather what you can about whatever you're seeing. And there's something instinctively, the first things that you see are horses and ponies and mares, and then you kind of realize it might be trying to translate mounts, and then you find things like darkness and oblivion and shadows and infinity, but then you start to think, oh, I get it. It's translating hiding. And then you find the keywords of death and life, and something about fruit bearing barrenness. Barrenness in wasteland.
Barren. Okay.
Yeah, barrenness of the land bearing fruit, and that's about the best that you can get for a translation. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's something about hiding and barren creating life or something.
This is as clear as the visions that you have earlier, but it's the same. Life, death, barren, things and stuff. Death, giving life, hiding.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
I mean, now I understand how your mind works. This is really confusing also to me.
Damon, as you look back to Sam, for the longest time you were walking a straight line. What you're looking back at from where you came from is a left turn. There's no straight path.
Are there light or is just my flashlight screaming?
Your flashlight, but the rest of you also see this.
Oh, for the love of God. I'll walk and look at the left turn.
Yeah.
It's a left turn.
Just a quick one. Does my... what you call it? Does my sense the beast can sense other people aside from them? Can I pick?
You can sense all kinds of supernatural creatures within an area, like their presence, but you don't know where they are specifically. You just know that they're around. In which case, you are able to sense spirits, wraiths, other kinds of malignant forces, but none of them seem to be able to physically affect the world that you are in.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm just gonna go back to the group at this point.
Okay.
Checking, still worried about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know what happened, but about the turn that we
Yeah. Sam, is this place itself magical? Because that is not normal. Pointing at the left turn.
There is a hint of strange magic that surrounds, but not like the magic you see within the Tremere. This is older, more visceral. But that blood path that you saw now surrounds the hallways. The entire place is covered in this red aura.
Wait, you're muted.
Sam, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I never really. Okay, I'll try to touch the floating stuff, the floating red stuff.
They cover the entire
So-
area, but it feels cold. Cold and dead.
Okay. I don't know about magical, but there's this sense of foreboding in this place. Something out of the nightmares of Lovecraft. So
I do
is
not
there?
disagree.
Yeah. Okay. If we head back, there's a left turn. But if we go forward, it's a forward. It's
Yes.
still a straight path.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's no.
Well,
There's-
this is frustrating.
There's no.
There's literally no going back.
Well, there's no point in going back now. This might be the point of no return. We just have to face whatever it is that we need to face.
Okay.
Do any of you have contacts up above in your devices, technology?
Doesn't even have signal.
No. Everything's dead here.
Quite literally, so everything is dead here. I'm going to take out my lipstick and I'm going to trail a bit.
Okay.
Does it leave a mark?
It does.
Hmm.
You guys keep moving forward?
Do you want us to backtrack just really quick, just to find your lipstick mark earlier?
Perhaps. However, I'm not entirely sure if we can go back here if we do. But I can leave a mark. Or, do any of you, in any case, in happenstance, have brought a rope with you?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm pretty much sure I don't.
Unfortunate.
No one said they were buying ropes, so they were bringing
Yeah.
ropes, so...
Yeah.
Why do you
We don't
bring
have
a
the
rope
adventurous
in the
pack.
sewer?
You might need to rappel down. I'm kidding.
I have a priest pack.
Well, I'm sorry. There's a ledge that we ran into. Why do we need the rope for?
No, it's more of if I get lost, if I'm the one who's backtracking, at least you can pull
Yeah.
me. Because it seems
Okay.
like everything is shifting.
Yep.
We don't know. That's it. But I just want to check the previous X that Valentine made on the wall. See that if we can backtrack ourselves. But
Okay.
it seems like the place is shifting, and I don't want to get lost inside here.
That is
Yeah.
true. Well, we can start marking
That-
things now. A lipstick mark is as good as a rope, I suppose. Forward we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Just trailing.
Push your way forward through this path, trailing through. Eventually, you arrive at what looks like a dead end. No doorway or entry seems to be there. Just a depiction. Cave drawing of sorts, carved into the wall. What you see is a central kind of carved orb or something. with small little tendrils carved coming out, and the ends of the tendrils becoming trees and grass and life. And on the other side of that drawing, the trees and grass and life begin to look dead and drained, attached to the same tendrils. One half is full of life, the other only death. It's like a bizarre, demented world tree of sorts with multiple roots that branch out into different vines and life and death. It's a dead end.
Okay. And the blood trail also ends here, or this does
Oh,
it
the
go
blood trail
through-
has dissipated to cover the entire corridors now. So there's no trail anymore.
okay.
It's just kind of an aura that surrounds where you are.
Okay.
Damon, can you take a snap?
Yep.
Take a picture.
Snapping. Okay.
Can I
Okay.
roll insight on it? Understand it first.
What's an
There's
insight?
anything
But this is gonna be hard.
that's fair. Insight. Rolling. One, two, three, four, six, 5 successes. Regular.
You look around. You're not really sure what this is. It's some form of depiction. It's something the Sabat, and more specifically the Tzimitzi, would be involved in, but the specifics of it, you're not sure.
I'm gonna look around this thing and see like any of it moves, or if I can understand it, because I've seen this before.
There's nowhere to look around because it's just a front page, but you can make an wits and insight
Okay.
roll as well, because you have seen this form in front of your eyes.
What's inside? Yeah. Keep forgetting to roll. Okay, there we go. Oh, 3 successes. Huh.
It's the same as the
Sure.
aura that you wanna use a willpower for it?
Yeah, the first one
Alright.
for the night.
Go ahead.
So, roll 3N. Nice. Oh,
That totals the
I think that's also a.
that's a crit.
Does that
So
count as a crit?
yes, it
Okay.
does. That's 4,
Cool.
5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
Nice.
Okay,
Dang.
8 successes. The Tzimitzi are a clan of shapeshifters and people who kind of manipulate their bodies, but not in the way the Gangrel do. The Tzimitzi are obsessed with the next evolutionary process with the kindred to become perfect monsters. They shift and change and manipulate their bodies in ways that seem demented or contorted in different aspects. They can, in some instances, mimic ground or structures. The more powerful can manipulate their body to become one with the ground or the earth to an extended form, and they become this strange, non-moving, living entity that feeds off the land. That is something that usually happens.
Okay. That's a little. That's a bit much to take in.
Yep.
Okay. Looks like these
old Jimitsis are up to something no good. Like, really bad.
Aren't they always?
Well, they look like they want to be something else, something more, something pure destruction, pure death. And they're using the ground. They're using everything.
That's a bit complicated.
Okay. What else? Is that basically it for here? In this.
Yeah, you're at a
room?
dead end.
Okay. Huh.
If we turn, is it normal? The path that we traversed earlier?
No, it is not.
Ah, for the love of...
When the moment you turn, you are immediately faced with a decision of left and right instead of a straight path that you were traversing.
And where's my trail?
What trail?
There's no.
What trail?
Oh fuck.
Well, that didn't work. I wasted a perfectly good lipstick for it. I hate this.
Oh.
And
Are
then
there
I
any
just
other-
tell them,
Yeah, go.
yeah,
Okay.
I just tell them, just keep a heads up for rocks and the ground or the wall. Looks like these shapeshifters are able to do that now.
Do what?
Turn into rocks, the ground, or the walls, or anything. You might look like they're part of the environment, but they're bloodsuckers. They're the Chimisi.
Do I know if they can do this?
The Tsumitsu are able to manipulate their form to match a structure. That has been done by some of their elders and the more powerful of their kind. The higher levels of their disciplines, if you will.
Oh,
Would you...
but just a question. My sense the beast would have sensed them even if they are turned into a structure or something, right?
It would depend on how powerful they are. If they are powerful enough, they can mask their own unnatural visage.
And I just start randomly like pointing my gun at the ground, the rock, the walls. Like
Yeah.
You can.
just
You're gonna shoot it or just kind of pointing it?
no, just pointing it at it. See if it flinches. See if any of them flinch.
Nope.
Damn, it would be funny if you had put some lipsticks on actual Simitsis earlier.
That would make my lipstick worth it, yes. However, they probably removed it because they didn't like the shade. Rich ruby is a very good shade. I feel offended.
Oh,
So where do we
they
go?
can take structures. I'm just remembering what are the things that we have saw earlier that could have. Would they survive? Would they survive being here for a very long time without any food or type or anything?
If they were in torpor. If they were... Torpor is a form of hibernation. There are kindred old enough who are willing to enter torpor. Like,
But they cannot
instigate
revive themselves. Right.
no, they can't. But
They cannot remove the leader.
unless they've fed enough. Like,
Okay, let's keep moving.
Left or right?
Left or right?
No, right. It's never
You can
wrong.
make the choice this time.
Right.
Let's go right.
right.
Right. Well,
Jacob would be happy with that.
By the way,
choice.
while we're
Right.
while we're doing that, I'll just take a sharp stone, and while we're walking, I'll just drag that stone in the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move down the right, and eventually you find what looks like a built staircase that leads downwards, further into darkness, even deeper beneath the city of New York.
Do any of you see anything or hear anything from the other side?
For the ones with heightened senses, that is wits and awareness, and add your auspex dots to the total pool.
Okay. Wits awareness. And plus wits awareness and plus auspex.
Yeah, if you have heightened senses on, it adds to your wits and awareness.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of
Can I
dice.
investigate the surrounding area while they're
Sure.
doing this?
Intelligence investigation.
So, that's a lot of dice.
What'd you get, Sam?
5
Oh,
successes.
for the love of God!
You're not even hungry.
I'm not even hungry! I only have one dice! One hunger die!
Let's start with Sam, but then I'll ask you for your number. You listen in, Sam, to the inside of this cavern. There is a faint sound of chanting. Very faint. It seems like the remnant of an echo, but it sounds like chanting to you. It's very hard to hear. Valentine, what did you roll?
7 successes on the messy crit.
Oh.
Going down the steps, looking at the wall,
This!
you see apparently Valentine is done with this.
I am done
Look
with
at the
this.
wall, the structure, and once you get to the bottom, you find that there is a solid structure now made of some sort of old limestone or sandstones or something. Similar kinds of stones to what the pyramids are made of. A structure beneath the ground that is rather ancient. Again, reminiscent of Sabata and Tsumitsu architecture. The memories that flood your mind of everything that you've gone through as a Sabat to the point of your siring overtakes your mind. And eventually you just kind of crack and punch the wall and destroy the stone. And the rest
Okay.
of you from the upstairs hear Valentine losing it.
Fuck it!
You guys head downwards. If you shine the light on her, you can see various tendrils of shadow emerging from her back angrily.
What is that?
She just punched the stone wall. Stone is old. No writings.
I mean, what are the? Oh, the
Oh,
shadows
her.
are your
Yeah.
your powers.
Her shadows, yep.
Oh, I mean, I'm just gonna roll her. Gently.
Don't touch!
Okay.
I did it again this time, didn't I?
You had
Well.
some things about stones, I think.
Sam,
Stones with writings.
in your head, your gun is talking to you. She's losing her shit. Better get out of the way.
Well, unfortunately, the stone that she was punching wasn't a Tsumitsu.
Or it might be. You never know.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, down this hallway, there is just the left going straight ahead if you want to go there.
Yee.
Walking
I'm
through,
not taking lead.
you find these small brass kind of holdings for candles or oil lamps possibly. And then they start lighting up as you walk past them. And for your oblivion sight and for sense the unseen, you're able to see wisps and shadows following you. Spirits of the dead that seem to be trapped here somehow. You continue forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You traverse forward, moving through. As you push forward even more, the lamps keep flickering on with light. And you are in front of a red, decrepit door. The wood has long rotted over the centuries. But it is still a door. This will not take any effort at all to break should you want to get in. But from the initial push, it seems to be barred by something from the inside. Probably one of those old doors with the wooden bars in the center. Very easy to break if you wanted to.
Can
Right.
someone else look through the door? I'm afraid I might break.
Oh, you can't see through it.
Sorry.
You kind of have to...
No, I meant like see the door. Investigate.
Go ahead.
I'll push the door. Will you investigate first before I push the
No,
door?
you can try to push it, but it seems to be barred by a wooden beam on the inside. So it's barred on some part, but because of how old it is, you figured that simple
can
force
just-
would break it if you wanted to.
Can I hear anything when I put my ears in the door?
Anything. You don't hear
Nothing.
much behind what is going on in the door, actually.
How about me? Does the chanting come from here?
The chanting is coming from all directions somehow. So it also comes from the door.
I see Damon try to hear
Yes.
something through the door, and then I tell him that there's just eldritch chanting. Do you hear it?
No. Eldritch chanting? Like a ritual? Does
Yeah,
the
like-
trail of blood still there? I'm gonna
No,
ask
it
you,
surrounds the entire room.
so- okay.
Can Jacob give it a try? See if it's just our Malkav hearing these chantings or it's actually existent.
Make a wits and awareness roll, but it's not going to be easy.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, Jacob.
What did you get?
You're muted, man,
Yeah.
and we can't see you.
So, what did you roll?
Okay.
Damon?
Oh, I'm the one who's gonna roll.
Yeah, I thought
the
you...
wits. I thought it was Jacob, sorry.
Yeah.
With an awareness. I do have 5 for it. I can try.
Okay.
Oh,
Actually, we can give it a try as
Wait,
well.
I'm gonna try.
Sure.
If I get another messy crit,
command.
I'm gonna have my freaking dice.
G
Fat dice.
and
If you get another messy crit, you're not going to have to deal with the door anymore.
I know.
3
I am
success.
very aware.
3. What did you get?
Oh, thank God. I got a crit, but it's a normal crit.
How many?
Nice.
4, 5, 6 successes on a regular crit.
Damon, you don't hear much of anything around here. You don't hear or sense or feel the presence of anything around you. However, Valentine, you realize something. You do hear the sounds that were being spoken of. You do hear something. Echoing low guttural chanting similar to what you've known long ago. And then the two of you realize, as you were waiting for Jacob to answer, Jacob's not there anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, he's been gone for a while. Now that you think about it.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Please think of your next move. I just need to use the restroom.
Well, we lost our fledgling. This is not gonna be
we
pleasant.
lost our fledgling. We're lost. And there are people chanting things I cannot hear apparently in the door.
Yes.
Am I-
This is quite
You're
the
hearing
predicament.
it, Sam is hearing it, and I'm the only
Yes.
one who cannot.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, it's not exactly our fault that the fledgling went missing. He might have wandered on his own, and it's not exactly our problem. He's not a child. I'm rationalizing, aren't I?
Yeah, about rationalizing how we can explain.
Yes.
We lost
We
fledgling.
We lost a fledgling.
This is the first stain on my record. I cannot believe I'm having problems with a Ventru after taking care of a Malkavian.
Ah,
Well, given the circumstances of his embrace, I don't think the prince will lose any sleep now that he's gone.
That is very true. He is quite famous, and he's quite the walking masquerade breach himself. But the anarchs wouldn't exactly smile upon the misplacement. I'd like to think it's a misplacement.
How can you misplace a change?
A person.
I'm sorry. Dear Prince, I'm sorry. We misplaced him.
We went in a maze, and he wandered off on his own. Exactly
Is
where he went.
how do we open the door silently? We barge in. We just say sorry. There are
Right.
people.
I think
Oh,
Is there anything resembling a plan?
we're planning on how to explain to the prince how we lost the fledgling. That's what happened.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, my prince. It seems like we misplaced your fledgling. That's what we're at the moment. It's a work in progress.
So, the door is in front of you. What would you like to do with it?
kick it in.
Kick it in.
I'll do it. Just in
Are we
case.
really? Well, I
Yeah,
suppose it's the only way
like
to
it.
go at it. You can't exactly pick a lock when it's blocked on the other side.
It doesn't
Yep.
require much strength. The wood is decrepit and old. Breaking through it, the wood snaps easily. As you enter inside, all the lanterns begin to light up again. And you are brought in front of what looks like a study. What would be an old, ancient study room.
Guys, do you still hear the chanting?
I think so.
But not
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
here, from outside, from everywhere you go.
Okay.
Hmm.
Checking some of
This-
the books.
Let's make an intelligence investigation for everyone to split off, because it is quite a large study area. And the books are fairly old, just so you know.
Intelligence investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do.
4 successes.
Okay.
I got 4 successes as well.
Alright.
Oh, tama. Yeah.
Looking through all these books collectively, you all find various writings and scriptures still in that old Shakespearean English. most of it, what you gather, translating, reading, maybe Googling a little bit, refers to the transformation and the evolution being completed, the perfection of the form, where there was no life, now life breathes, the dormant state, the sleeping giant beneath the knowledge, beneath the city that never sleeps, the city houses or will house this sleeping giant. There are talks of unnatural transformations that are leading you closer and closer to your eternal goal of perfection, and experiments that have been done on the living and the undead. Various atrocities even the Sabbat as a group would not approve of. Everything done towards the aim of this perfection, eventually leading into a reference to New York City that is actually in common English. Some of these books now look a little newer, at least within the Sabbat's reign of New York, and right before the Camarilla took over. And some of these things look like they were from that decade.
Can I investigate the room other than the books?
What did you roll?
I got a 4.
On the 4, you can actually find, because the lights have turned on, the walls have decrepit, rusted chains where people might have been hung, and blood splatters all over. This doubles as a torture chamber. Although for the Sabbat, a torture chamber is pretty much their study anyway.
Sure. How old is the blood?
Ancient to current variety.
Current.
Because very old blood would have just dried up into a random stain on the wall. But the fact that you can see a little bit of crimson in other places means that it was not terribly old, but probably older than the Camarilla's presence. This was...
Is this where the smell of blood is coming from, or somewhere else entirely?
The smell of blood is still very strong in the air, everywhere.
Understood.
This room is just as crazy as the library of my sire, with light reading as Necronomicon, Witchcraft, and Paradise Lost. Old exotic titles like Malus Maleficarum and Darius Aurum Regni Norum Portus.
You have a very, very interesting sire.
He was a jackass, and I aimed to kill him.
Most sires are, really.
You hear the voice of Jacob scream from the distance.
Running.
Oh, we found our fledgling. Running.
You run towards the sound of the screams. For a second, you almost forget that the shape of the corridor has changed once more. But the screams, unlike everything that you've heard, comes from a singular direction. You find your fledgling ripped in half on the ground.
Oh, crap.
Bleeding out. Now, ripped in half...
I'm sorry for laughing.
It's fine. Ripped in half horizontally does not kill a kindred.
Okay.
He's still alive.
Like dying the bagus type of...
No, not vertically. If this is him...
It's horizontal.
Yeah, from the waist. Across the waist. Horizontally. Help me! There's something here. There's a monster here.
What was he around him?
Nothing. You see
The blade inside?
violent angry spirits, but not the type that are able to do this.
Oh fuck! Even my sense the beast, I'm pretty much sure wouldn't sense anything.
Oh
aside-
no,
Oh, you can still try it.
are sensing the presence of a kindred, a very powerful
aside
one.
from us.
Aside from you and Jacob, there's a powerful kindred within. It's odd. Your sense the beast is not an accurate kind of GPS location, but it tells you when a kindred is near. But right now, your internal senses are saying it is near, but also very far. It is here, and it
Wherever.
is also not here, wherever you are.
Oh shit!
For the love of God.
But it is here, and it's also not here, and it's an odd kind of mix of your senses.
It is.
You see, guys, Jacob's body is being drained of blood. The blood is not flowing just because he's cut in half. The blood is violently being forced out of his body, going through the corridor, going down into the floor, and it sort of moves through the corridor. If you've ever watched Helsing, like Alucard drawing blood from a distance, that's sort of his blood kind of being dragged through.
Oh.
His blood is
Okay.
being dragged so purely, and so purely that it does not stain the floor. It simply uses the floor as a medium to travel. It leaves not
Yeah.
a single drop wasted.
Following.
Yeah,
Following the
I'm
blood
I'm
stream.
running towards it. Yeah.
Oh, for the love of... I'm gonna follow reluctantly.
You follow through where the blood is going. It
We just
eventually.
fledgling.
Why?
You want to carry the fledgling? He's like,
I will take one of his belongings, maybe a necklace or anything. Just snatch it on the way.
and
He will not
Pretty sure
die,
he's a
right?
goner.
He will not die.
he
just
will
too
if he gets exsanguinated enough. Like if all his blood gets drained, he's gonna die.
Yeah, we can't
Yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, my Sam's singular purpose is like to stop whatever it is that's draining.
That too.
Yeah.
Can
Just
I
like
pull the
running.
fledgling away though?
You can.
Does it still trail?
It is. It's following him.
Okay, so there's no escaping this.
Um,
Yeah, I'll just snatch a necklace, a memento of his, just to show that, okay, so he's gone.
Well,
I'm gonna...
and
run.
I'm just gonna picture him later if it's.
Oh, don't take a photo of a half.
We need to show something to the prince. I mean,
Come on, let's just go.
This is not a discussion. Let's just try to stop it. Hopefully.
As you kind of follow, you take a necklace or a memento. You realize something.
Yeah.
That is possibly a fledgling. But now that you get a second look, that's not Jacob. It's something else. It's a kindred. He's dead, or he's being killed, but you don't know him. Not your fledgling.
This is not ours. I'm gonna call onto them, but I'm still running
guys-
after them.
You guys stop and take a look back. Different clothes, different everything. It's not your fledgling.
yeah. I don't know that because I don't look back. I just keep running towards the.
But you follow the blood. Anyway.
Yes.
Following
Okay.
the blood. Even if it's a bad idea, let's follow the blood.
Okay. This is good.
Yeah.
You follow
It is.
the.
Bad idea.
He said good. That's scary.
This is
Well, there's
No,
no,
no, no,
there's
it's a
no
good
bad
idea.
ideas in this script.
this is a good idea.
Let's go.
There's no such thing as a bad idea in a crypt.
That's true. Unless you open a coffin.
Okay. So
Yep.
Yeah, we follow.
you follow it. You go through. You keep going through each of your footsteps. You eventually find the blood sink down what looks like a grate. Like a small grate in the floor.
Damn it.
Great.
Grate.
Is it enough to
Great.
hit, to open, to hit us?
You can open it,
Yeah,
but
can
it's
I-
not. It's not a human-sized grate. It's like a really small, about 1 foot by 1 foot.
Can I see anything through it? With Oblivion sight?
Nothing through there.
Okay.
Damon, your sense the beast is just going haywire to the point that you have no idea what it's trying to say anymore.
Yeah, but something's powerful here. Is this does this look like a house or something, or
It looks like a temple with the weird looking. It looks like a Greco-Roman temple with the Greek columns everywhere and the small oil lamps. In front of all of you, there is a figure. A sort of shadowed figure with an elongated head that's just standing there.
Is this figure like a human being, or is this a statue?
It's a humanoid figure, but it's obscured in the shadows where the light doesn't reach. And it's just standing there.
Okay.
Can I not see
Yeah.
through it?
Can you
Yeah,
see through
I-
shadows?
Darkness. I can see through darkness.
Ah. That's a ugly visage as you see, with horns on either side, an elongated head that spans his kind of just goes upwards like a skull extended. A strange looking jaw with a cut in the center like a tri-jaw, and large toothed road fangs like a great white shark. The eyes are closed. And you look closer. Initially your instinct is to draw your weapon and prepare for combat as you are seeing the visage of a Tzimitzi. But you look closer. It's desiccated. The corpse drained of all vitae. And yet it lives or unlives somehow. I'm not sure how.
if I approach, would my sense the beast know that it's him? I mean, if I can sense something from him, if I approach him, I go near.
If you approach him,
Yeah.
yes, you are able to sense a kindred. A living kindred that is somehow desiccated and drained of vitae, but somehow able to live through it.
Can you
And
talk? Then I,
no, it's unconscious.
okay.
It resembles torpor, but it has no blood. Torpor requires you to have some amount of blood in you. A kindred completely drained of vitae would be dead. Right around that time, you re-encounter Jacob, who's been moving around in various hallways that were not there when you walked in here, and he re-encounters you as he has just gotten lost in absolute darkness until now.
Oh, for the love of... There you are. I'm gonna snatch him by the collar and I'm gonna hold him there, like next to me in place. Not gonna let go. Just holding onto his collar shirt.
For the last 30 or
got
so minutes, Jacob,
lost.
you
I'm
got
sorry.
lost in absolute darkness and you had no idea where the hell you were going.
Yeah.
I'm not letting you out of my sight.
So what happened?
You're staying here.
What? Thank you.
Still holding.
What happened? What happened to you guys?
We are looking at someone.
And you see a desiccated corpse of a demonic figure in front of you. It doesn't even look human anymore at this point.
Welcome to your first encounter with Shimizu.
And I just have my beretta squarely pointed at it.
Damon, you are able to feel the life force of this creature. It is there. It's almost in a state of its unlife and its final death, and it's found an in-between where it can exist perpetually. However, it is also very vulnerable. If you wish to kill it, it would be no easier than it is right now.
Is
Taking
that
a-
thing dead?
Taking a picture, by the way. Oh, then
Sam.
let's develop if you picture a kindred.
Unless it's a La Sombra, yes.
Unless it's on a sombra. Can't
Okay.
take photos. It's really sad.
We need evidence.
Anyone want to
Yes.
answer, Jacob?
Is that thing dead already?
No.
Well, not
Well,
exactly.
depends on-
It's yes. How it depends on how you would describe a dead.
aren't we all?
Aren't we all? I'm going to look at Sam. I'm just gonna say, hold on to him.
Okay. I grab.
We're playing past the politician now.
Yes, past the politician.
All right.
I'm gonna investigate the body, please.
Intelligence investigation. You have one hunger. You cannot possibly get another massacre.
Watch me get another message. Oh, for the love of mother fucking! Do I need to show this? Do I need to show this?
We need-
Because I am losing my shit.
We need a messy crit
Show it.
counter. We seriously need a messy
Show
crit
it.
counter.
Wait. I'm gonna show this because
like-
this is brutal.
Oh, now we're
this is
That's like
so.
for the
giving
third
your
time already.
Wait. I'm sorry for ruining the mood, but I need to show this because I am losing my shit. Fuck it. I'll just flip my. You see that?
That's a 10, and that's another 10. Yep, that's a
That
messy crit.
happened 3 times already. 3
Oh,
times.
What
Oh, no.
what
I
is
thought you were
your
gonna show your bed again.
what's your total?
I'm not gonna show my bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on a messy crit.
7 total on a messy crit. Okay.
Stop me, please.
You look and examine the body. It is desiccated, similar to a mummified corpse drained of all fluids, all blood and vitae. But then you kind of look and you realize something within yourself. This is not just another Tzimitzi that you worked with. This is reminiscent of a much older Tzimitzi, a type that predates the Sabbat and their inception, predates the Camarilla itself.
Out of character, is this from the Dark Ages?
Older.
Holy shit! I know the
As
Dark
you-
Ages.
As you kind of look, this is not how the Sabbat look now. This is not the transformation they do now. This is older, more ancient. And then you just have another grasp, another rude awakening, if you will.
Can I
And then-
approach
hold on.
the mummified body?
Hold on. As you grab on to the body and look at flashes of what you've gone through under the Sabbat, under the Tzimitzi, and how they treated you within their ranks, curl up into a fist, and you just throw a punch right at its face instinctively, and the
Can
hand
I?
catches your fist, and the eyes open, and there's a smile. It has a grasp on your hand,
Let go of me.
shoves you with enough force to kind of bring you back. Tzimitzi walks. This Damon, sense the beast passively. This doesn't feel like a kindred anymore.
Monstrosity?
Some form of monstrosity, but this doesn't feel like a kindred anymore. This is something else. It lumbers
Now-
forward. Who's got the highest dexterity among all of you?
Oh, for the love of God.
I have 2.
Valentine also has
I
2.
have
I have
3.
3.
Okay, Damon and Sam, what would you guys like to do?
I shoot at it.
Composure and firearms.
I don't even I don't even want to negotiate with it.
Composure and firearms.
Roll.
Wait, then
Okay. That's 8 and
Yeah.
H. Wait. Okay. Sige. Later na lang. Oh!
Sam, can you open
5
your video?
successes?
5. Sam, can you open your video?
Oh. Open a video?
Your video.
Am I not? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
I misclicked and I joined Lance's group for a while.
Nice.
and I realized, wait a minute, who are these guys? I don't know.
Surprise, motherfuckers. You take your gun, you aim at this monster, and you take a shot at it. It seems hurt. The bullet goes into its body and it reels back a bit. It looks hurt, but well, no, it looks like it damaged the physical form, but it has not stopped it at all. And at the same time that's shot, Damon, what would you do?
Okay, I'll just activate Lethal Body, and I'll just try to punch it.
Lethal Body only works on mortals.
Oh, so prowess, I think, would be
Then that's a rouse
more
check.
appropriate. Yeah, I'll do that rouse check. Dash roll 1 each. Oh, bestial failure, fuck.
No. There's no bestial failure in a rouse check.
Okay.
But you do get hungrier to
So,
hunger free.
I'm in hunger 3, yeah. So, prowess, then I'll just try to punch it in the face.
Strength and athletics. Strength and brawl plus your prowess.
Strength and brawl. So that is...
Plus your potence.
Strength and brawl plus my potence. Okay. So that is 7, 9, 6, 3. Okay. Roll 6 and 3 each. And I'm just gonna use one more willpower.
Okay.
Okay. Roll 3 and that is 6. Success.
Roll for this thing. 1, 2. Okay. You take your fist, and as you kind of go through, this is everything that you are trained to do in the Camarilla. Punch it through its chest. Your fist goes through the chest, and you pull back, and you damage its form again, but it's just standing there. After hearing the gunshot and punching through this thing, Valentine and... Let's go with Valentine first because you're the more experienced one. What would you do?
By the way, when I punch him, I look in the face, what do I see?
No expression of pain or acknowledgement. It's just standing there. Valentine?
Okay.
What are you?
Just kind of twists his head and you can hear the neck snap. Perfect.
I'm gonna summon my shadows. Arms of Ahriman.
One rouse check.
Oh, now you fail. That's a fail.
You are at hunger too. Alright. So surrounding you are these tendrils from the darkness, shadowed tendrils, that kind of 2D tendrils moving and maneuvering beneath your feet. You gonna try and hit him with it?
I'm gonna try to grapple him.
Okay. First, wits in oblivion, technically.
Okay.
That is the attack and deals superficial damage. Or grapple.
Wait, grapple. I'm gonna grapple him. Restrain him.
Yep. Okay. Wits in oblivion.
Oh, now you don't get a crit. Now you roll a 1. 5 successes. With 1 in case I fail.
Doesn't roll that high. The shadows from the ground begin to sliver on the ground as they rise up and wrap around his body.
Stay.
His upwards of his jaw, the head bends back and the lower jaw stays in place. The top part of the head from the upper jaw falls to the ground. And it melds into the stone. As the rest of the body still just half a jaw and the bottom body is remaining. While you have him grappled, Jacob, what would you like to do to this thing?
I think everyone is engaged. I'll activate Daunt.
Okay. Yeah, you can activate.
So it's yeah, presence and intimidation, right?
Yes. You can try, yes. What did you roll?
Ano, wala nang hunger na kasama.
With hunger. You always roll
With
with
hunger, yeah.
Hunger 1. What'd you roll? Jacob, what did you roll?
That's I have 3 successes.
Okay. The rest of you see Jacob almost on instinct activate an ability that the rest of you have seen before from Ventrus and the like, trying to make himself more imposing, more intimidating. It doesn't affect the rest of you, but it also doesn't seem to affect this creature that you're fighting at the moment. And what you hear is a laughter that echoes in the corridor. And you can see the walls. Valentine, please make me strength and athletics.
Understood. Not that impressive. 1, 2, 3 successes.
It's not enough. The wall, this sort of limestone wall, manipulates itself to becoming fluid, almost human-like. Now grabs onto you. Your shadows still hold the course, but now you are held in place by a stone wall. And the stone solidifies around your body again, like you were wrapped in cement or stone, just wrapped on your body. We go back to the top with Sam. The walls now move.
Yeah, Sam actually expected this, so
That's true. Should we run?
But Damon, you have the axe, right?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Wait.
We axe the wall?
No. My Sam's mind and everything in his mind wants to kill this thing. If he can. Wait. So I don't know. Can I even?
There's a wall.
Okay, fine.
The body's still being grappled by Valentine's shadows.
Okay.
Burn it.
Oh, right. There's lamps here, right?
Labs?
Lamps.
Lamps, yes. Oil lamp-like things, yes.
Yeah, I heard Valentine say burn it, so I try to grab one of the lamps and then I just toss it onto that thing we're fighting.
The fire becomes consumed by the ground as if it was a part of this place.
Crap. Didn't even hit him.
It did, and it kind of spread for a bit,
but
but the fire gets absorbed by the ground.
Okay.
We're in danger.
Yeah, we are in danger.
Don't say.
Well, God damn it, I don't have any.
Nope.
My celerity is not that high enough that'll give me another action.
Nope. What is your
Okay.
celerity?
Celerity 2.
I mean, I'll let you activate fleetness if you want to do something with it.
Oh, fleetness. Okay.
You can
But
move
that's
at
only
rapid.
You
can move at rapid speeds if you want to try something with that.
Okay. if I activate fleetness,
Mm-hmm.
can I grab Damon's axe and try to like axe this guy, trying to decapitate it?
Sure, I'll let.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
make a rouse check for
aim-
fleetness.
Yeah, I'm just gonna aim for its neck. Roll.
Make a rouse check for
H.
fleetness.
Failed. I'm hungry.
You are up to hunger 2. Look
Okay.
at you guys increasing in hunger in a place like this.
Where we can't feed from anyone.
So, you are up to hunger 2. There's a
Okay.
there's an instinctive kick in the back of your head that's just telling you, get out of here, we gotta get out of here, come on, let's get out of here. But
Oh.
you activate
Okay.
fleetness and you can see that you are surrounded in this red aura as you make a way for Damon's axe on the back and unclip it and take a swing at the wall that's grabbing Valentine or the corpse that is
The
being held by.
corpse.
Okay, make a
Yeah. I'm
dex and melee roll.
okay.
The
Strength,
axe
melee.
has a +3.
Okay. So that's
+3 to your successes.
wait a minute. 4.
Plus the axe is 3.
Okay. Wait. It's okay.
No.
4. So
+3 to your successes. So yeah.
okay. Yeah. It's. I'm still having. I'm still getting used to how to roll here.
It's fine.
Yeah. I wanna blow it out even more. I'm gonna use.
Willpower?
What do you call it? Yeah. No. What do you call that? The one
Rouse
that
of
gives me. Yeah, Rouse of Blood.
Okay. Technically you're
So-
supposed to increase that before, but yeah, make a rouse check for it.
Okay, Rouse check first.
And then roll the dice.
Okay, that didn't make me. So that's now 5. So that's 3N. Roll 3N, 2H. What the hell?
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
What did you
One.
roll?
One success. But willpower?
You can.
Okay. I can certainly try.
You didn't do a bestial failure or anything, did you?
No, it's not.
No,
Okay.
no,
Bestial
just a
failure.
regular.
It's just a regular failure.
Roll
Yeah.
3 and
Okay. 2. What the hell?
well, it is restrained, so it can't actually move. So the axe will just hit. Well, that's 2 plus the axe's damage of 3, so that's 5.
Okay.
The axe goes straight down through the shadows, through the body, vertically cutting in half.
Nice.
As the pieces land on the ground, you can see it gets absorbed into the ground. Not a trace of blood or corpse left. Valentine, what would you like to do?
Oh, I don't get
Wait,
the
is
turn.
Oh, sorry,
It's
Damon,
on
yeah.
us.
Damon.
Damon's turn.
The body that
looking
you
at-
punched just
Just
gets absorbed into the ground, and Valentine is grappled by stone.
a shadow.
No, stone.
By stone, right?
Stone.
I'll be. Can I see other stones like that or something? The wall or.
The entire wall
That's
is
it.
made of the same kind of stone.
Running to
Run.
Valentine and just try to remove the grapple. The stone.
You activate your potence, which should still be active. So that's strength and strength and athletics plus your potence.
Strength. Come on, that's 7. That is 7. That should be 3. Roll 4 and 3 each. Oh fuck, just 1. I'm using all my willpower. This is a one shot.
Never will come.
I'm using.
Go.
Force it.
Oh wait.
Oh god.
Roll 3 and.
You're not gonna need that later, I'm sure.
Yeah, when we're running and trying to
Use that command
escape.
again in.
Wait, it doesn't want me to.
Roll
Right.
it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
3N. Slash roll 3N.
There.
Yeah, just 2. Fuck.
Try to ground the stone.
Now,
And
now
for-
we roll solo.
For a second, you feel like that you just, because this is a bestial failure.
Yes.
And you feel like that you dislocate your elbow as you push it through. A bestial failure.
From a
Not-
Nosferatu.
Not very good. Let's see here.
This is why I got high last time
Yep.
So that you
as a Malkavian.
You are.
He's still feeling a
You
Malkav.
crack a bit of your arm off, just kind of breaking it, and you have to push it back into its socket. The bestial failure just kind of, I believe that increases your hunger.
really?
I need to double
well,
check.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
No, not necessarily. It's kind of like if you can't think of anything for that, it'll increase. You can just increase the hunger. It's
that's an
something like that.
it's either or, right?
Yeah, it's one of those options.
You sacrifice. Yeah, no, because you're trying to exert your force and you failed. The pulling force that was meant to rip the stone open instead rips your arm out of your socket. And instead, you will take 2 points of superficial damage.
Okay.
Divided.
So 1 point.
So 1.
Okay.
But as you kind of try, you see the stone give up and just go back in the wall. And as you are released, then you hear, perfection is at hand. You will bear witness. And then there is silence.
I'm just gonna nod at David and say, thanks, but I think we should run.
Yeah.
Where?
The corridor
I'm just gonna ask.
has shifted into a completely different view, where there was a
I think they're controlling
corpse in a left
everything
turn. It was now front
I think
and back.
the enemies, the sewers themselves.
The temple. This is the
You're in the
we're
cavern.
The temple now.
You're in
Cavern,
the
temple,
underground.
like inside.
I think this is them. Like
Yeah,
it is the temples are enemy.
I think so too, Jacob. That they are around here. Maybe if
But we
can,
can't just stay here.
That's out of character.
can we?
Oh.
I know. You want us to try? I mean, let's try if you want.
Sounds.
Can we, as we, what you call it, as we run through the corridors, the torch that we see, can we just put it on the ground?
Yes.
As if we wanna
That
run.
crash. You run towards the corridors and you find a wooden door, same like before. It's sort of decrepit, but this time it's not locked. It's actually open. It's kind of broken long ago. You go through it, and you find another research facility.
Is it the same material? The stone?
Older and newer, but yes. There are notes on the ground that look like they were left here, probably when the Sabbat got kicked out.
Okay. I'm gonna,
This place... Sorry, I forgot to mention, this
No,
place, however, is much newer.
Okay. Nothing's chasing us, right? It's like we're just trying to find our way out.
At the moment, you did get
At
the
the
sense
moment.
that the thing that you are fighting was trying to kill you based on the walls and the ground kind of eating you, but at the moment, nothing is physically chasing you.
Okay.
Are my shadows still active?
Nothing
Yes.
yet. It's
No, the
physically
scene is
chasing
over.
us.
Yeah.
The scene is technically over, so no.
Okay.
Can we see the body from here? I know we ran the guy.
And the body
Yeah.
wasn't left.
Take what we can and let's go.
I take a quick glance around this area and see if anything pops up.
Group check for intelligence investigation, please. Everyone will roll.
In investigation. 2,
Oh, thank God.
1 and 3.
2.
2 success.
That's another 2.
Yeah,
I got
another 2.
2 successes.
3. And for Sam?
I got 3 successes.
Okay.
And a failure on the blood die. If I fail.
It's fine. 2 and 3. 3 is just about enough, but you guys kind of go through, you realize one thing, these notes, English. Straight, proper, common English. It makes a little more
I
sense
can
now.
understand that.
All of you can understand English.
Okay, good.
Okay.
It is a common English, and collectively, as you guys gather your notes and look around, you find what these are referring to. It appears that the Tzimisce that ruled New York for so long before the Camarilla came in were researching a theory that involved the undergrounds of New York City. It involved the inner workings of the city and what is in there and what could possibly be discovered. They were very desperate or very adamant about looking for something underground, something powerful and something ancient that they were 100% sure existed here.
Can I talk to Valentine? I tap her on the back.
Sure.
What's a Tzimisce?
This is hardly the time, but Tzimisce are the violent, body-morphing kindred.
Is that the thing we fought?
Yes.
Oh.
It resembles one. See, we're talking this while they're investigating, just
Yep.
debriefing him.
The rest of the
Yeah,
things that you are finding on this is that Tzimisce were very much looking for something here. Something ancient and powerful that they were determined to find. But at the same time, they were looking for a process, a new form, a new evolution to life, an ability that no other kindred could possess. They believe that it is their inherent birthright to access this ability and to improve upon it, to make it more powerful, to change it. They are the only clan that has gone through this sort of evolutionary process of their disciplines. While a majority of the clans widely retain their disciplines and it changes over time, just based on the needs of the masquerade, the Tzimisce are different. They force the evolution of their abilities. They force it upon themselves. And reading all of this, you find that this entire laboratory or temple or whatever it is that you find yourself in is actually a, let's call it, research facility. It's a Tzimisce experimentation chamber where they have done quite a number of atrocities against people and kindred alike to achieve whatever perfection they have been aiming to achieve. And it's about as much
Can
as
I-
you gather in the small amount of time you want to spend skimming.
Yeah. I gather as much of the notes as I can, put it inside my jacket,
Hmm.
and then tell everyone we gotta move.
I think we should.
Okay. There is no way. Inside this chamber, there is a different way going out. Another door that leads to the outside, or that leads out of this chamber. You can move through that door. It is also old and decrepit, and you find a hallway. It is no longer the same type of hallway that was temple-like with limestone. This one is a cavern. A cave with small stalactites on the ceiling and a tight, narrow corridor that you have to traverse one person at a time. You make your way through this corridor. You maneuver through it, you get through, and eventually you find a set of steps. This one unfortunately leads downwards once more. But when you turn back around, you don't see the doorway that you have entered through anymore. You just see caverns.
I think we're are we being tricked right now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I think so. Are we being tricked right now? Is someone playing mind games with us? I guess.
More like rock bending. And I'm so proud that I know.
Would you like to go down
can
the
I
steps?
use my heightened sense?
Yes.
Yeah, can I use my heightened sense? Just to check if there's anything.
Around here, the moment you activate, it's actually easier to understand. There's the sound of a beating heart. But you don't decipher the direction. It echoes through this entire cavern. And it's just constant
Shit.
constant volume no matter where you go. Just
I tell everyone, like, did we hear a heartbeat when we were on the temple? Inside the temple earlier?
No.
No.
More like
Because I can hear a heart. Yeah,
That's
I can hear a heartbeat right now. And I'm scared about where it's coming from.
yeah. I also activate heightened senses if I already lost that ability.
you can activate it, and you can hear the same thing.
It's only one straight pathway, diba?
There's one pathway that leads
this-
downwards. When you look back, the door that you came out of is no longer there. Instead, it's a cavern network of multiple directions.
Either we move forward or we go back and risk it.
Going down isn't exactly a way of escape, but
Seems like the choice has been made for us this time.
seems like it.
Move down the cavern.
Yeah.
Moving down the staircase. The heartbeat does not get louder or softer. It remains a constant volume no matter what position you're in. But you begin to realize, with heightened senses on, the heartbeat is coinciding with the rocks. Like the rocks are shaking, not enough to feel on the ground, but if you pay attention to the dust falling off the stalactites. And as you kind of move forward.
I
Yeah?
look towards Sam, and I tell him, "Do you think this is the heart
The heart.
of whatever we're fighting?"
The fact that it even has a heart is up to question.
What she
Kindred
said.
hearts don't beat. With
We don't have heartbeats. We're biologically
We
dead.
don't have heartbeat. We don't.
Check your
We don't.
pulse.
you have no pulse and you are cold to the touch.
Oh, I examine everyone's pulse out of compulsion. Oh, okay, this is right.
Everyone's cold to the touch without any pulse. Without any form of
Okay,
blood flow.
So
Anyway, traversing forward these caverns, you eventually find yourself discovering various things along the way. You find bodies, long dead, desiccated corpses of kindred. Now, ordinarily, when a kindred dies, their bodies will desiccate to the point of how many years they've cheated death by. But even then, the body still rots over time. But all these corpses you are surrounded by are freshly killed kindred. It's almost as if these kindred have only recently met the final death. But the way they are dressed indicates various time periods from centuries past, all the way from the Dark Ages until now. Centuries old clothing that's rotted away, but their bodies have remained preserved as if they had just met their final death. Varying stages of desiccated and rotting, depending on how old they were when they died, but they did not progress past that. And somewhere along the way, you can even see a pile of ashes that has not been disturbed. They are just lying there in wait.
Question. Final death is
when the kindred dies. Like when
final
the
death
kindred
is when
dies. When you die.
permanently. Okay.
Yes. Valentine, you know of the Tsunitsu, you know their ways, and while most of the things you've seen are conceivably something they do depending on their power ranking, this you have never seen before. This you do not know of. This is one of the reasons you left.
Can I run a quick investigation? Just skim through it.
Sure. Intelligence investigation, please.
It's funny now that I have 2 hunger, it doesn't roll a messy crit.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
You look around and you find what Sam found, these older clothing that marks generations and decades and centuries past. You find no modern clothing here. So it sort of indicates that no one's been here in quite some time. It has been a while since anyone has entered here. You also
How did
hear,
they die?
from what you can tell, in the same manner the Nosferatu have been dying. Simply drained. You kind of move through, you even find some older weaponry. You find weapons, and you find an old shield that has the Ventru symbol on it, reminiscent of the days when the Ventrus were proud knights instead of businessmen, warriors. You find various other clan symbols, and it's called the memorabilia on these corpses. The corpses have not aged since their final death. And then you hear the sound of running water.
Yeah.
And this one is coming
Water.
from a direction, to the right path. In front
Okay.
of
Any
you,
water.
in front of you is a front path, 2 front paths that kind of make a V, a left path and then a right path. And it's the rightmost that sort of has the sound of running water.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I look at all of the stuff here. Is there like a usable sword?
A rusted sword still hurts. It's not going to be very good, but it is usable. It can still stab.
Okay.
Table just die
Close
of tetanus.
Well, I grab one
Okay.
and then brandish it.
Alright. With enough force behind the strike, it should be able to stab something. Definitely never gonna cut something again. But you might be able to stab something with it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, pointy things are better at dispatching kindred anyways.
So, you move forward
Towards the water.
Towards the
towards
water.
the water. Okay. Going to the right, the water gets louder. But as it gets louder, you realize this is not the sound of a river. Or at least, it's too thick and it's running liquid, but it doesn't sound like a river. As you get closer, the smell...
Can I smell the water from here?
you don't see it yet. But again, as you go through, the smell consumes you the smell of vitae overpowering all of our senses and sensibility. I require a willpower roll from all of you.
What's Vitae?
What
Blood.
willpower?
It's blood.
It's blood.
Blood. Okay.
Please roll your unspent willpower. No hunger.
that is-
There's no hunger. Just roll a number of dice equal to your willpower. No hunger.
Oh, number of dice.
I got a
Unspent. Equal to your unspent willpower.
Yun na.
crit. Could have been a messy crit, but I got a 6.
Okay.
Willpower, sig, composure, and wits.
Composure and resolve. There are dots to willpower.
Ah, sorry.
Just roll the ones you haven't spent. Damon, what did you roll? 1. Sam?
Two.
2. Sam?
Yeah, two.
The 2 who have been spending their willpower this entire time.
Oo nga pala, no? Yeah.
Jacob, what did you roll?
Crap.
I have
Oo nga
3
pala.
successes.
Okay. Jacob
I forgot.
and Valentine, the smell of blood and vitae consumes your senses, and for a second the beast demands to be recognized. It demands for the blood, but you hold it back and control yourselves. The same cannot be said of your companions. In Sam's head, there is a voice that is blood, 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 vitae, blood. I need food. And you see Sam just run forward, and Damon
Can I?
inside your mind is the thing. There's 2 of them. Damon in
Yeah.
your mind just and your fangs just bear out, and you just kind of walk forward, running at full speed.
Can I dominate the 2 of them?
Not when they're not looking at you. They've got their backs
I'm
turned,
activating
heading
Arms
forward.
of Araman.
All right,
I can.
make a Wits
I
and Oblivion roll. Not in
Oh,
this state.
no.
They're feral.
Oh, that's why.
And-
Okay, never mind. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Make a rouse check for Arms of Araman, and then Wits and Oblivion.
God damn it! It's a fail.
Okay, you are at hunger
No.
3.
3. Yeah.
Make a Wits and Oblivion roll. I need both Damon and Damon and Sam to make me a strength and athletics roll.
Strength athletics.
Yep,
okay.
without boosts.
Strength
What's in
athletic
Oblivion?
3. So that is 2, 3.
You crit. God! No, you don't.
5.
And
Okay.
8.
I failed.
Okay.
I had 1 success.
Okay.
1 success, dude.
So, as you guys start running, you, Valentine, just kind of see and understand what they're facing as you almost fell for it. You grab the shadows from the side and just kind of maneuver them, and each of you are wrapped in shadows on the ground. We'll say that you're kept here for a few minutes until you gather your senses again. Just and you can breathe for a minute. Metaphorically breathe, as you just.
Are you stable?
As stable as one can be. Or
Scourge?
Damon.
Yeah. I'm good.
Gonna release.
Shadow releases. The spell of Vitae is still there, but for now you have controlled yourselves. But it does lead you forward.
That was scary.
This is like a haunted house.
Fledgling. I'm gonna grab him by the skull.
house.
No.
I'm gonna ask, who are you? What is this house of yours that you say?
You will see.
Is this the same voice as earlier, or
Different. Much different.
Oh dang.
fudge? How many are they here?
Apparently, your house, there are other people too. What you call it? That we encountered earlier too.
Besides,
Besides you.
parts of me. I am the eldest.
Don't tell me this is a Gen 3 type of person.
No.
Oh my god. Antediluvian. Probably
Based on
not.
the right, Damon would have said that based on the writings that we have been reading.
Where you guys want to go?
Still grabbing
Not
Jacob.
from the.
Move forward.
To the blood? Okay.
If that's the only, is it like if that's the only path? Yeah.
It's the only path forward.
You wanna go back, bro? Nah, we're already here.
All right.
There are two paths, but fine. Investigate the blood.
You go. No, you don't see it yet. You just smell it.
Okay.
But you go through, and you eventually do find it. You are atop a ledge. There's maybe 50 feet from the ground, and you can see very clearly a large pool of blood flowing from the top, where you don't know where it leads, into a river of blood that leads down a canal. It's an entire river of blood.
Is there a way to tell if it's kindred or human?
You can generally tell the difference. That's kindred blood. Some humans too. It's a mix.
Is it like a waterfall of blood,
Yes,
or
but
just
you
the
can.
pool of blood?
It is, but you
Oh.
don't see the source of the waterfall itself. It's just.
And this is
Can we see
alleged.
how the water?
Yeah.
Can we
This is
see how the
alleged.
water is flowing?
Yeah, it's flowing downwards and then forward from the river into a hole. This is a ledge. You're about 50 feet from the bottom where the river kind of, where the borders of the river are.
So there's no path forward.
There is if you jump down. There's another cavern entrance on the other side of that blood river. And then there's the canal where the river actually leads to.
Based from where we are, how far is the cavern or the other side of the river?
50-foot drop and about
Yeah.
40 feet across.
Oh shoot!
Why don't I have soaring leap?
Yeah.
Same. Can we
Should
climb
we go
down?
back?
Yes, you can.
Can I check how deep is? Just putting my hands.
You're not at the river. You're still at the ledge.
We're
It's
on the
50
ledge.
feet. It's a 50-foot
Oh.
drop to get to the river.
Is
Do we
there
still
like
see
a way?
where we came from?
You can climb down. You can rock climb if you want.
Yeah,
It's climbable.
I'm gonna say I'll climb down first.
Strength and athletics.
Strength and athletics.
Maybe bring a rope. Oh wait, you don't have
Next
one.
time.
Why would you use a rope in the sewer?
For spelunking.
Now now we answer.
Spelunking.
Three
Oh,
success.
nice.
Spelunking in
Free.
the sewer.
Okay. Easy enough. It's not that hard for a kindred. You managed to climb down. You're down.
The river is in front of me.
The river will be from the drop of the ledge, maybe 20 feet, or no, about 15 feet in front of you.
15 feet in front
The
of
river
me.
itself is only 5 feet wide, and then there's another 15 feet on the other side leading to a cavern entrance.
Okay.
Or again, there is a path where the blood goes to.
I mean, where the blood comes from. Can I check where
The blood
comes?
coming from is from the top, and it's just a small kind of entryway, so you can't
It
really see
looks
past
like-
the actual blood.
Oh, okay. Can I do intelligence check if it's something that the one that we're following earlier? The initial one where the fledgling died, the blood sucked through that. Are we under it now? Type of
Oh.
thing.
The flow of the blood is similar to how the blood was flowing from that dead fledgling you found, so more or less you get the idea.
That we're under.
That you are where that blood was heading to, yes.
Okay. So there's the blood going there. There's another cavern.
Yep.
Right.
If you're facing the cavern, the blood is heading towards the left into a hole going downwards.
Which, I mean, can we fit in there or
yes,
no?
absolutely. That is a very large cavern opening.
I mean, the blood, where the blood is coming
yes,
down.
Yes, that's a very large opening for the blood to go through. You would have to ride the blood.
Ride the blood.
Should we follow? It took a while for him to respond if we safe down.
Scourge,
okay?
are you still there?
I'm just gonna shout, I'm planning on doing some river rafting just to see where this blood goes.
Oh, for the love of God. You don't even have a raft.
Is this like a chocolate river from Willy Wonka's factory?
Except
type
blood,
of
yes.
Water,
Kindred
river?
version.
blood.
Except blood, yes.
So just a blood.
Yes. You do not have a raft. What you do have is an abundance of corpses all over your feet. Of
Don't
varying
carry your weight.
of varying stages of rigor mortis.
Oh my
Wait,
Oh
God.
my god.
Is
I'm a
blood
Noah's
denser than
energy.
water? Is blood
Absolutely,
denser than
yes.
water?
It
Very much
is,
so, yes.
Then it will float, basically.
It will, and it's hard enough
For
to
a
act
while.
like a
It'll
flying.
float for a while.
I cannot believe I'm agreeing to this.
Wait, is everyone else climbing down? Because so far it is only Damon who has climbed down.
I'm just there.
Yeah, we're just talking. We're talking up.
Can I approach the river? Just put my hand there, just see how.
Blood
You
is a
get a touch.
mix of warm and cold, but you cannot. You do find the end. It is less than arm's length deep.
Oh,
Covers maybe just short of your shoulder.
it's not that deep. The blood. I mean,
I'm actually surprised it's not the Malkavian who's suggesting this. Looking at Sam, see what he has to say about blood rafting.
Sounds fun.
Blood rafting.
Oh my God. Okay,
fine.
why would I ask rationality
Guys,
from a Malkavian?
You're still on the ledge, by the way.
Yeah, we're
Can we
talking.
go down?
We're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
Let's
about.
go.
It's strength and athletics to go down. You don't need that many successes. At least one.
I'll climb down with the Ventru because he might fall.
Then you make the strength and athletics, but you will
I
get
might
a
fall,
penalty.
actually. Oh look, I have. Wait, mali. Wala.
It's fine. If Valentine's carrying you, you don't have to roll. But
I'm not
Valentine,
carrying him, just like next to him to catch him
Oh,
in
okay.
case he
Then yeah.
falls.
everyone make a strength and
Alright.
athletics roll.
1 and 1 each.
Okay.
At
It's a
least.
success.
It's still a
What's
success. With,
that?
How many successes?
What's the skull thing on the hunger dice?
That is a bestial failure, but one success is enough to actually make the climb because it's not
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
hard.
it's one success naman nakalagay
One is fine.
dito.
One is fine.
Okay.
Let's go with Sam first because I think I know what happened to Valentine. But Sam, what did you roll?
1 success.
One success. Okay. You climb down. Valentine,
Mm-hmm.
what did you roll?
5 messy group.
How did you miss? So
How?
Valentine climbs
You
down.
wanna see? I'm gonna show it to you again.
Hold on. Valentine climbs down. As the rest of you manage to climb down, not with ease, but safely. Valentine climbs down, and then at some point, a rock gives way, and you just kind of close to plummet until you grab onto another rock, and just out of pure spite and anger, and as you force your way down, as you make the last climb, you pull a bunch of rock with you and crush it in your hand. You're muted, Damon.
can I catch her?
No, she doesn't fall to her ground. She just gets down and then destroys a bunch of the rock with her.
Like rubble. I need to get out of this place.
Shadows
okay?
surrounding the sheriff, just angry shadows all over her back.
Oh shit.
So,
I'm fine.
are we
I'm
blood
fine.
rafting?
I'm just gonna show if we want to go back. That's where the blood are coming from. I think we're below the ones where we're actually.
Okay, so
If we want to go back, but if we want to know where this blood is going from, then we go down. And that is what I want to know.
where the blood is going?
Yeah, where the blood is going, because we know where it's coming from. From
The
above.
whole thing we need to do is to escape.
Oh,
Your sense of survivability is way beyond me. I'm gonna look at
surviving
the.
quite fine.
these are Nos that are being killed.
That's true. I'm gonna grab the fledgling again, like keep him close to me again.
Okay.
We lost you last time. You're not going away.
Do we have a rope just in case?
No.
So you can tie
No.
me? Oh.
That's the whole problem. We didn't bring a rope.
it's gonna be a
I
recurring
told
thing.
you guys.
Do we have a rope?
I told you
Do we
guys.
have a rope?
I told you guys that you had the free armory of the entire Ventru Center, and you did not say rope, so you do not have a
No
rope.
one brings a rope in the source.
Like, I have a,
Or do we have a piece of cloth with timing
Yeah.
around Valentine, like handcuff thing?
well, there's a bunch of
Corpses,
corpses.
but the cloth
I'll
is
take the cloth.
the cloth is
Oh.
too old.
Ah, yeah.
That would be fragile by now.
Now I'll just
Para
rip
po.
my end of my jacket.
Okay.
I'm gonna tie it onto my wrist. I'm gonna tie it to his and say, "You're not going away." Basically binding him.
Handcuffed to the La Sombra. Sure.
Who has a lot of anger management issues, apparently.
Do I still see the shadows on behind her back?
Always following the La
Always.
Sombra around.
Mhm.
Oh no, this is scary.
Oh no, indeed.
So, are you
Jacob is
guys
scared.
blood rafting?
No, you say it's around this deep, so it's
Yeah.
not.
So you're gonna walk?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's like walking in chocolate.
And you
Is there like a river bank we can go to?
you're about
follow
to find
the river?
you're about to find you're about to walk down the river to find where it leads.
Where it ends.
You follow
Oh
through,
shit. Okay.
climb through the blood. It is a drop from here, but not a straight drop. It's a like a
super rough.
like a
It's
yeah
a-
no
It's
like
a water slide.
yes, like a straight water slide of blood.
We
The opening the opening is enough
Was-
for you to go into, but not enough for you to walk full height. So you actually do have to line the blood and slide.
You know
I
the
just bought this dress. God, it's Gucci.
I'm just curious. This is a lot of blood.
How did you know it fit you? If you're a vampire.
I can try on clothes. I just can't see my reflection. All right,
This is
I'm gonna tug him with me.
isn't it?
Ah.
The gun the gun speaks to the Malkavian. Seriously, so vain for someone who can't even see what they look like.
that's her cross to bear,
Yeah.
and then I just go into it and slide down.
Malkavian just slides down the blood pool. Whee!
Keep your hands on your chest.
To the rest of you.
That's not fun.
I'm just gonna say to Valentine that Valentine, it's really alarming that there's a lot of blood here. We don't know where
Exactly.
I mean,
As
we
they're
don't
discussing,
know where this is being siphoned from. Because we just saw some murders, but we shouldn't be feeling this much.
Well, if they've been doing it for centuries and preserving the blood, then
as they're
it's just
talking, can I slide down?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but you're gonna drag
pulling
Valentine. Valentine, you
Yeah,
just get
better. Whee!
one arm. You see Jacob has one arm up and Valentine's got one arm down and she gets pulled
yeah, I'm
backwards.
getting dragged in head first.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Oh,
kill
no.
you, fledgling.
I'm gonna get
Okay. The scourge follows after as you. Eventually, you all and emerge drenched in Vitaean blood as you. A pool.
You're
little.
buying me a new dress, you know.
Now, this pool of
I have
blood
money.
has multiple different paths that smaller, kind of like tunnel paths or funnels that they kind of lead to. You can leave the pool, and you find that where that entrance is to the pool, as you leave and look up behind you in the darkness, this large mass of flesh and muscle and tissue that's over possibly a kilometer long, mass of flesh and vines and flesh and tendrils, these weird red muscly tendons or tendrils kind of extending through the cement and the dirt, cracking through it, heading further out to where you can't see, and there are hundreds of these tendrils extending in all over the place like a demented cobweb centering on this massive flesh. Various blood-like muscled tendrils spread all over, and this one thing where the blood seems to be, the blood keeps flowing in and out of it, almost like a heart.
So I was right. There is a heart.
Like, but not exactly a heart. This is just a mass of tissue.
Beating.
Yeah.
No.
Can we still
So there's no heart.
Wow.
Okay, so this is what I think.
Hold on.
Okay.
Before you say anything, Valentine, please roll me intelligence and just intelligence. I was gonna say.
Wow.
I was gonna say
and all of them are
insight.
hunger dice.
Let's add your insight. I think insight would be fine. Insight and intelligence.
At least it can be in a crit instead of a bestial fail. 1, 2, 2 successes.
A little bit of your history, and you remember that Tsumitsu would go on about the final days and Gehenna approaches. How they were preparing for war against the antediluvians, and they were preparing their bodies physically. They would go on and on about the final days in Gehenna and the final nights that approached the kindred. Amongst those discussions, there were rumors, long thought to be extinct and perished. The one known as the Eldest, the antediluvian of Clan Tsumitsu, was long thought to have died. But there was a rumor that had spread a few months before your decided departure. And it is one of those rumors that you just never paid attention to. Just another babbling of the Tsumitsu clan. That the Eldest did not actually die 6 or so 100 years ago, but instead entered a voluntary state of torpor beneath what would have become a major metropolis of the world. Lying in wait, he had achieved the perfect form, a creature of blood and tissue and mass, of which will bear life to the ground, and he will feed off of the life that he produces. A creature that gives life to a metropolis, only to take it in the night and feed from it upon his eventual awakening. That's what you remember.
I believe we're dealing with an antediluvian, whether or not you believe in one.
Well, I did say I feel like this is a Gen 3 type of thing.
The fact that he feeds now, Valentine, where
The
he would
Diluvian?
normally remain dormant, is alarming. He fed on quite a number of people in order to enter torpor. The fact that he's feeding once more from a distance from his current form means he is awakening. The very thing that you
What's
had
an
run
antediluvian?
and the very thing that you have run and betrayed your clan for has followed you to New York City. And Jacob has just asked what it is.
What is an antediluvian?
Yeah.
A very old and very pissed off vampire.
Accurate.
Basically, the
Very
ones who gave
hungry.
birth to us.
Okay, thank you.
And one of them is in New York.
A man approaches you,
Should we tell the
elderly. An elderly individual approaches you with a stick. It's kindred, but he's been weakened. That's a Mitzi, based on the features. In New York and feeding. About to rise. He steps out, looks at everyone. Gehenna is upon us. The final nights are here.
by that?
I'm gonna ask. Is he going away from us?
No, he's coming. He's not. He's coming towards you, but when he stops.
Okay. What is this place? What is that? Pointing towards the heart extraction.
My clan has long learned of a mannerism, a power to become one with the world itself. This is the eldest, the perfect form. The entire structure that you have traversed is an extension of his will and body. And when he rises, he will consume the metropolis built by his vitae.
Stop being cryptic, old man. That's my job.
There is
How do
nothing
we
cryptic. It is written. There is no stopping it. Soon he will rise, and soon he will consume everything.
Why are you targeting the Nosferatus in the sewers?
They are not targets. They were simply there, beneath the ground where his reach is most powerful.
How do we leave this place?
He points to a cavern entrance. The eldest does not wish you to stay, only to bear witness.
Is he gonna usher in the what you tell them Gehenna?
Perhaps he is one of many scenarios. He looks at the mass and he just walks forward, puts his hand on it. Gehenna is upon us. You see his body deconstructing itself as it gets absorbed into this massive flesh.
Valentine, let's go.
Let's go. I'm gonna tug the fledgling.
Ah,
We do have enough information now.
You guys get
Yes.
pulled out.
Yeah.
Go through
Go
the
to the
cavern. The cavern is dark, damp, quiet. You move through. Eventually, you find staircase that feels like it lasts forever. And eventually, you find a sewer. Upon entering through the sewers, you go through. You just find sort of a hatch within the sewage. Now, instead of drenched in blood, you are drenched in sewage. As you go through the bottom of the sewers.
Oh, God.
Make your way up, and this is a part of the sewers you know, Damon. You
Yeah,
can
that's
navigate your way back to Venture Tower. Eventually, about 30 minutes of walking, you climb up, open the hatch. You are in the back, you are in the basement parking of Venture Tower. As you climb out, there are some kindred that approach. Camarilla, goons, and ghouls. That just have their guns ready in this. They don't point, they just have it ready. It's the
Can
sheriff.
we
It's the sheriff.
Terrence. Friendly here.
need to
So-
take a bath
Yes, sure. Go on ahead.
before facing the prince and before
Can I use-
reporting to the prince.
Of course. Go ahead. They're just very clearly trying not to smell you at the moment.
I know.
Just gonna growl at them.
You can.
can we shower first?
Yes, you can.
Before facing the.
Yes.
The
That's what I'm.
with the
I don't mind.
past the smell of the sewage that surrounds your body now, you smell just a hint of urine from one of the guys as you intimidated them. And you head to showers of Venture Tower. Shower for what feels like a couple of hours, washing all the sewage and blood out of you, and dressed in appropriate clothing. Where the prince has been informed by the ghouls that you have arrived and prepared yourselves. You are to meet in her office in the penthouse. You take the private elevator. As it opens and you enter her penthouse suite. You see Prince Helene Panar sitting, looking at her balcony. He stands up, moves inside with a glass of blood, takes a drink and puts it down. Well, I trust you have something to report, Sheriff?
Yes. Right.
At first, it was some Lovecraftian horror. Now it looks like the Timisis are being directed by David Cronenberg.
That's too big of a That's too much for references.
I trust Valentine you are able to translate this for me, oui?
Yes. While most of his statements are beyond me, it is the truth that Jimitsi is upon us.
Jimitsi.
And- Yes.
It has been quite some
There-
time.
Not quite. I believe they haven't left. They have been staying in the sewers underground for several centuries, feeding themselves off New Yorkers. The metropolis.
Faye,
Are you familiar with the Elder, my prince?
stories? The antediluvians, Gehenna, bedtime stories told to young kindred. Am I to understand that this elder resides within New York? An antediluvian, perhaps?
Yes.
You can confirm this, Sombra.
We found his perfect form underground.
Underground. So the stories are true about the elders or the eldest being a part of New York City itself.
Yes. Unfortunately, it seems like he has awakened, seeing that he's feeding from kindred and human alike.
Oui. This is troublesome. She goes off to the back and opens an old leather-bound black book. Just puts it on her table. Views pages. She does not make an effort to hide it if anyone wants to read or look at it.
I'm just giving her the camera, showing her the pictures of the things on the walls in the book that we have found also.
Oui. Puts it down. Looks at her book. When you see the title, it just says The Book of Nod. She looks through the pages. Goes through it. I see. And the eldest will rise, consume all that he has given life to. For even in his undead nature, he is able to breed new life for himself to feed on. A fully self-sustaining kindred.
The bad thing about what's happening right now?
You have much to learn, Fleshling. It is about as bad as you might assume if in your human life you saw meteors from the sky destroying everything in sight. Signs of the apocalypse, as it were. Well, if this is true, then it is beyond the scope of New York City. It appears it has come time to call another convention of thorns. With everyone involved. It would appear that this has gone far beyond the simple politics of squabbling regimes. Tell me, Scourge, how do you feel about this? I believe you sought sanctuary in the Camarilla to avoid such a fate. Am I to expect you to no longer be here in the next night?
No, my loyalty is still with you, Prince.
And you, Sheriff? You are here for the same reason?
I've run for long enough. If there is a fighting chance, then I will. Fight.
We are facing off against assumed progenitors of our own kind. The city has no idea what is coming for it. These foolish mortals, they sleep in their beds, complain about their day, unaware of the impending doom that awaits all of us. This is quite a feel, no? Takes a sip of blood. Sets it down. You have all done well. And you? Look at the fledgling. And then she looks back at you, Valentine. I see you have kept him alive. Very impressive. Perhaps there may be use of him yet.
Scourge.
I'm in the mask. You cannot see me.
I heard that. I
I
heard
keep
that.
quiet
snort.
about being lost in the sewers. Like,
Don't you
okay.
dare. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm giving him the presence that don't you dare say anything. But I will look at the prince and just say, Perhaps with enough training, he will prove himself useful.
Perhaps there may be room for another winter in the Camarilla yet. You of course understand, looking at Jacob. You of course understand your human ties. Everyone you ever knew in life, gone. Your death will be faked in the papers in the morning. People will mourn you. There is a fake body that has been placed in a fake coroner's report confirming that it is yours. You will have died in a car crash. But beyond recognition. Dental records faked.
Yeah.
You are to live or unlive a new life within the ranks of the Camarilla, working from the shadows, as we do. Soon enough, after a few decades, people will forget your face, and then you can start going back in public again.
At least visit or attend my own funeral from a distance.
You seem to be misunderstanding. You have nothing to do with the living anymore. Friends, family, all of them gone. You are to abandon your entire life. We maintain the masquerade. Humans must never know of our existence. You break that, and every faction, everyone you saw in the auditorium will be coming for your head, not just me.
I'm going to look at him and just say, the moment they find out that you're alive, I will personally take care.
Can I dominate Valentine and tell her, let her speak about what happened inside the sewers?
You can try.
You can try.
Yeah, that's for fun.
Roll your
fun.
Try. Roll your manipulation dominate. Valentine. That is. What is it? Resolve. And manipulation dominate
Resolve.
for Jacob. The defense is.
We haven't fed yet, right?
No, you have not. Well, no, you're back home, so
Thank you.
within that time, I can assume that you fed. Dominate. Wait, what dominate power did you get again?
Mesmerize?
No, because I think Jacob only has one dot in dominate.
So what
It's
dominate power?
Not clear memory. It's not clear memory.
Compel?
Don't.
Daunt is a presence ability.
Is present. Maybe he has compel?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he has presence. Did you get presence, Jacob?
That's a presence ability. Daunt.
Yeah.
No,
It's
because
been true, so he should have presence
Yes.
too, but only if we put the dot in presence. Like.
what I'm saying is, dominate, compel a single action. No longer. Yeah, that's fine. So if he got, let's see here. Yeah, the last sheet you sent me, you have cloud memory, so you don't have the ability to actually force her to do anything.
You can only make people forget.
Yep.
Recent memories.
Like last 15 minutes. In any case, the prince looks out through the balcony, watching the city, and all of you, as you join her for a minute, feel a small earthquake, and you can see the glass that she has left on the table shake. The prince just crosses her arms, looks at all of you, takes the glass off and drinks. And you can see that the sun is fairly close to rising as she closes the windows. And you head to your individual rooms. One provided to Jacob, newly made. And we end there tonight.
Yeah. We end there. Fuck.
The threat of Gehenna.
Yeah. The fledgling survived one of the weirdest nights, and that's saying something. We all
That's
did.
true.
And that's the most we can hope for. These are the final nights.
Absolutely.